Well, big up, big up, big up. It is a viral match reaction that we're going to be having right now. We are live and direct after a 2-1 victory at Anfield. Had a couple of us on the edge of our seats, in that Wolves definitely stepped it up in that second half to make it interesting. Cunha with a very good audition, possibly for an exit and maybe a uh, exit from Wolves and maybe a introduction to the Anfield crowd. But all the same, the best part and the most important part is 3-point collectors. We have Lee and we have Brian with us. We might have I'm pretty certain we'll have Milante with us a little bit later. Maybe even JK or even KJ. Uh Brian, Lee, how you guys feeling?
Pleased to be 7 points clear. Very pleased to be 7 points clear. And it was a tricky game today, wasn't it? Trickier than we thought it might, Jake. But I was quite pleased that with how we played. Wasn't our best performance, but I thought we were able to get the job done pretty well. There was a few hairy moments at the end, but not too many. So yeah, I'm in a good mood about the results and the performance.
Mm-hmm. How about for you, Brian?
Yeah, the classic game of two halves. you know, I don't know
Yeah.
what team came out in the second half, but also the same team that was out in the first half. Um, I haven't seen stats like that in a long time. They were 9-0 up for shots, 9-0.
Yeah.
Well over an hour in the second half. We even had an attempt. They'd had nine. Um, at the end of the game, yeah, like I said, I don't know what they had it for tea at half time, but don't do it again because
It seemed to
we're
be
thinking 20
after Salah's goal got ruled out for offside. Like that really gave them a boost, didn't it? That they were still only 2 goals down, and they come at us a bit more after that, didn't they?
Yeah.
What is it that you think that we were missing in the second half? If then, what was it that was it simply because of? I mean, Kwanzaa's introduction was a good one, in that obviously it paid off in the end, and uh, the eventual introduction of Bradley for uh, for Trent was obviously something that we were expecting. It was the 60th minute, I think, or something like that. But what was it that we were missing that allowed for Wolves to really get back into this game and not allow for us to have the control that we're looking for?
I think the fact we played twice since they've last played had some bearing on proceedings because we were that little bit more worn out than them. Like they had seemingly had more energy in the second half, and that's understandable considering we've played a lot more games than them recently.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to really look at it from that point of view, haven't you? And say, yeah, we weren't at our best, but it's understandable because it's a busy period. And Wolves, as I said, we played twice, haven't we, since Wolves last played?
Mm. Just legs. Is that the same for you, Brian?
But that's the big question. Like I said, I haven't really seen something like that from us in a long time. Obviously, Wolves came out with when you saw the way they lined up, it was like basically 3-2-5. They were just saying like we may as well lose four as two. It's going to go for it. So
Mm-hmm.
that came into a lot. But yeah, that's going to be the big inquest. Like who flipped the switch on that team? What happened? Yeah, maybe a bit of legginess, but
I think they
players had
wanted to coach, didn't they? They were hoping to coach through that second half, but they weren't able to do it. Very far from that, But they tried to put in, a little bit less effort, didn't they? I think, and it backfired, sort of thing. They couldn't get themselves started. Then, when the game swung away from us for a while, we couldn't really get into the game for a while, could we? And it looked a bit I mean, they weren't all over us. They weren't attacking us, you know. They weren't like cutting us apart with every move, but they were all over us in terms of possession, weren't they? Maybe not in chances, like in clear-cut chances, but possession-wise, they were all over us for a period, weren't they? We found it hard to string a few passes together to make any headway.
Right. Certainly went more defensive, I would say, with the substitutions as opposed to last time substituting in more offensive minded players.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that we did get to see Lucho get subbed out for Endo, as opposed to Lucho getting subbed out for like a Elliott or a Chiesa, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which was good to see.
It was a refreshing change, wasn't it? To see that, to see an attacker go off and Endo come on, like when we were like defending a lead that he had, you know, enough spuds to do that. He went, right, I'll just defend this, and we got away with it. Like we did it. Endo had an all right game when he come on. He got involved, didn't he? Which he always does. He was crucial at the end, getting that draw and that foul, wasn't he? When he just got in front of the guy, like when they were attacking. But it was good to see him. Good to see him for a while. And it was a welcome change for me to see that in a game, like just a different type of sub to see it and have to go off and Endo. Come on. Why not? Why not?
Right. Yeah, I just thought that seeing, rather than a like for like change, basically seeing him transition into a more defensive shell, and it paid off too. Endo played relatively decent. He had like a couple. He had a couple good, defensive. Um, I don't know if that was a foul. I mean, that was Cunha definitely got play acted a little bit for that foul. But
That one wound me up. I shouted and shouted a bit
how
on
are you?
that. I think I woke my dad up. He fell asleep. I heard him go. He fell asleep in his chair. I think I woke him up shouting, and that happened.
Oh man. And
they proved a decent side today, Wolves. Like they are a decent side, Wolves. When you look at them, aren't you, into some of their parts and that, they should be higher in the table, really, shouldn't they? No way.
yeah,
Outside
Wolves
should
aren't
be
that
16th.
bad. Wolves aren't this bad. They're not a relegation team.
No.
I don't think they really are. But
For me, they should be around 12 or something. Wolves. Be
yeah,
about right for them. But they proved, yeah, that they're a decent side today. I mean, okay, they had a little bit of help because we were at our best and we let them get into the game. But okay, that's football, mate. You know, you can't have it all your own way. Other sides are going to feature in games. And Pereira looks like he's not a bad coach. Like he's made them look better. They definitely look a better side under him than they did under O'Neill, as well as O'Neill did. And I won't deny him that he did well. They look a better side under Pereira.
Yeah. I'm listening to what Slot has to say. He's doing. I guess this game was on beIN Sports maybe or something.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, yeah, Jared saying happy for the 3 points, but we were shocking. Second half.
Yeah.
Bizarre
I
second
don't
half.
think we have.
Bizarre.
I don't really care if we we don't. I know there are some people out there. I'm not, and this isn't anything going against what comments are being put into the chat, right? I'm not pointing out anyone in the chat at all. But I'm actually thinking of other comments on other channels by some of the content creators out there. But at this point in this stage of this title race, I don't care how we get over the line. We do not have, for me, we don't have to play fantastic, football or whoops, a little back on. We don't have to play some type of like, beautiful uh um it's Olay style football or something like that. I just since we're at this stage and we're at a place that some people didn't really necessarily have us being, I just want to see us get over the line. It's going to take gritty. Sometimes those kind of hang on to the game moments. This game had I'm sure some semblance of looking similar to our game against Everton, and I'd even go as far as to say I think Manchester United. So I'm watching them walk on the pitch. Sorry about that. I would even go as far as to say Wolves were more threatening, if not a better team in that second half than Everton was in their second half against us. So for us to get this result, it's pretty much what you ask for from a team, and that is to show fight, show resilience, be gritty when you need to be gritty. I'm glad again we mentioned earlier, I'll land here. We mentioned earlier about how the coach, I think, maybe learned something from his last, roll of the dice, and that is play smart and go. He went defensive minded with his substitutions to hold on to the game rather than try to push on for like another goal to secure the game. So
They say the sign of a good team is to win when you're not playing well. And it wasn't a great performance today. I wouldn't say we were bad. I didn't think it was a bad performance. It just wasn't one of our better ones, although we did manage to win. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, the last few games have been patchy form-wise. I think the last 3 games form-wise have been patchy. And it's not the greatest time to go through a period of patchy form, really, with the games we've got coming up. But I'm reasonably confident that we will just, take it in our stride, and carry on and see
yeah,
our form improve in the coming fixtures. I mean, we've got the international break coming up, haven't we, at the beginning of March?
yeah.
The end of February, beginning of March is the international break, innit?
I'll tell you something too, is that, or at least ask about something. I mean, it's probably a different conversation completely if that was if that penalty was upheld, and if Salah was able to stay on side for that second goal that he ended up scoring, but obviously was taken back because of the offsides. I mean, he could be. We could be talking about maybe first time in history you have in the same week 2 Egyptian players in the Premier League scoring hat tricks. But that would have been a very interesting narrative. I'm sure that
it will be an interesting narrative around the City game, won't it? Like the King and the Prince.
yeah.
Prince Regent, Marmouche.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Big up, JK.
The heir apparent.
The heir
Bless,
apparent.
bro. Yo, what a game that was! Flipping second half was, man. Madness.
Yeah.
Got the job done.
I give the coach. I was going to say real quick. I give the coach. I'll give the Wolves coach credit in that he went big by taking off Gudez and taking off Serbia.
Serbia, yeah.
Yeah, and trying to get on not only some fresh legs, but maybe some new energy, some new direction. And I mean, he took him off at halftime,
Yeah.
so that was a big move. That was a bold move too.
Mm-hmm. They did at Liverpool what we do normally on second half to teams. They did that to us today. I've not seen a second half like it this season, that one. That was pretty poor. But for me, again, we had to win today. I said that yesterday. It doesn't matter what the score is and stuff, how we play. We just got to get 3 points on the bloody board. But for me, the next 2 days before the Villa game, I'm sitting down with that midfield and saying, yo, guys, what's happening right now? Because that midfield today and against Everton, non-existent, man. Wolves could have made set up a meal in that middle of that part in that second half today, drinks, everything, starters, the main dish, even bloody dessert. The way we played in that second half, I think a lot of them guys need to chill out the next days and sort it out, big time.
What did you think of Dom going on to the left when Diaz come off the end? What did you make of that? I was hoping maybe Chiesa would come on for Dom.
Yeah, he would have been better, in my opinion.
No.
Because he had the
that's
ball.
where I disagree on that one. I disagree on that. I'll say I'm just saying I just disagree. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I disagree. In that I didn't mind seeing Dom there because Dom brings you the same work rate. Brings you possibly an even better defensive level player than even Lucho. And
I think that was his idea, wasn't it? And I was glad to see it. Like, it was something different seeing Dom out there on the left. It was just an idea.
Because then if you're bringing in Chiesa, you're probably not bringing in Endo. Like, I was happy to see him do. I didn't want to see him do a like for like, switch if that's what he was going to do. Like, as in they had plenty of the ball. They had plenty of the ball. The majority of the momentum was in Wolves' favor, and we needed to hunker down and try to get a result because we weren't really generating that much opportunities, at least in my perspective, in that second half especially. So
can I just say, Brian, what we were talking about in the chat, Brian, I don't want the lines. When Mo's goals rolled offside, not necessarily then, he ruled it out, but it was I like to have seen it shown, maybe 10 minutes later. He was went, here's that offside for Salah just to show you it was. Do you know what I mean? Not actually at the time. Just rule it out if it's offside, but show it at some point so we know.
Yeah, cool. You can go. They'll have them online as well. If you're on Twitter, they'll have it updated straight away. You'll be able to get images, all that stuff.
Oh, will you? Yeah. I never go that far. It was obvious.
Yeah, I know exactly. No one needs to go that far.
Time these days.
No, I'm just with Jacob. I've never it's. We said we did what we did against Everton today. It had to be 3 points, but you also have to analyze the game. And that second half, it was like, what was that team? This was Anfield. This is Wolves. I've never seen numbers like that. I've never seen lopsided performance like that. So that's got to be a kind of everyone sitting around looking at each other going, did we just play that 45 minutes? Because if you do that against Man City,
it's a concern.
If you do that against Villa, if you do that again in any of our next two games, so it's like you can do something once and you go, right, can we all sit around and agree that ain't ever going to happen again? It needs to be that kind of mentality. But yeah, you grind it out. We did. I thought with you, I was thinking, like when he brought on Endo and he took off Diaz, I was thinking, yeah, it might not be a bad time to start not experimenting with new formations, but not just being 4-3-3, the base of the 4-2-1-3, whatever you want to call it. But basically, like you were saying, to have likes for likes all the time. That was tactical shifting. It was like, so we're going to do this. Okay, we had a similar formation, but it was still like Dom on the left. He can do. Look, it's Dominic bloody Szoboszlai. Go out there, man. Do your stuff. Do your work. Don't let you won't let us down.
Exactly. Yeah.
And just
and
have that
then
bit of
and then to put in even Darwin. I know that
Yeah.
some people might not have appreciated some of the work that Darwin did today, but at least you have fresh legs, and you have, rather than Diego, you have someone that can be a little bit more physical, a little bit more aggressive when it comes to,
Right.
holding off players or trying to keep their own back line a little bit more honest with this
It
speed.
was interesting. I know I had a couple of different feeds. One of the Jim Beglin one, and this isn't a slight at Darwin. This is just kind of backing up. What's like. He kind of he chased back a lad and he took the ball off. I mean, or he got involved out on the left wing, and the commentator was saying, that's you see the work. He's saying, yeah, but did you see the bench? He was in the middle, and the bench was screaming at him to get back and work, get back and work. Like that's how much he's not just doing it naturally. He's also like the bench are out there. Like Beglin was saying, yeah, they were on him. They're saying you need to get back. You could see they were talking and pointing at him to get back. So the work that was like we went into full defensive mode in that. So even Darwin, who naturally will track back, was having to be told you're not doing it. Do you know that's how fucking hardcore we were going there for a while.
Right.
So
I think it
yeah,
could be also because of the way that the direction of the game was going too.
but yeah, no, but I
Yeah.
kind of try just emphasizing
Yeah.
that even the bench is saying we know you're doing your work, but we need more. Come on, we're going to have to dig in here. And that wouldn't have just been at Darwin. It was just he was pointing it out. And that's
It
that
was
instance
everyone.
with the whole
Yeah.
team. Yeah, the whole team was having to dig in. And like Michael Owen said, it's you play badly and you win all these things, but you can do it once kind of thing. You have one game. Like we can't be like this. We need to get back to a stronger performance. But
Right. Yeah.
we're going over all the humps and bumps now. We're dealing with the Plymouths and the Evertons and the wow, like Slaughter's always said, the quality in the Premier League compared to the Eredivisie, the teams that are in 17th can have a Cunha. This is exactly what he was saying. So and that guy Bellegarde came on some lovely touches. But it's another type of test, really, and we got over it. But it's got to be a win against Villa now. It has to be.
Oh, it certainly has to be. But you're right. We can't have this kind of second half performance against
No.
Villa at Villa. That's not
No.
that
Or at
doesn't
Man
that
City.
probably won't bode well for us if that's the case.
No. Ali isn't Superman. Ali can pull off saves, but he ain't Superman. If you do that at Man City, you're just asking for trouble, and lots of it.
Mm. Yeah, that would not be the move. Tell us what you guys are thinking in the chat for sure. A win is a win, definitely, Abdul. That's what it comes down to. A win is a win. I mean, that's basically what we're asking for from this team. Is again, I don't really care about how we necessarily look per se in the tense that as long as we get the win, that's the most important thing, and we continue to get these W's. We can't slip up. We can't allow 4 points. I mean, the narrative, even on a draw in this game, would have been very, very hurtful and very, very self-destructive if we were to get that kind of a result. But we get the W.
Well, the second half performance was tame. But
No,
I was in a bad mood, like from the moment the second half kicked off, because Canate had to go off. It's with us being at home, like I said, and Darcy and Agbadu were on yellows as well. As soon as Ibu done that, where he went for the header and like bumped into Gomez, and this guy commentator was like, "Oh, we'll have to watch out now," and he kept going on about it until the whistle went, like for half time. It's like, shut up, you twat. And I just knew that Canate would go off, and that would probably be the best thing. But it annoyed me that we had to take him off. I mean, he got that yellow, didn't he, for pulling the guy back on the edge of their box.
You can agree, Lee, too, that he probably was fortunate not to get another yellow. considering the referee and considering that he was already on a yellow.
What for that challenge in the air? That was
No, well, it wasn't in the air. Are you talking about Everton, or are you talking about? I'm talking about this
I'm
match.
talking about tonight today with Ibu, and after he got his first yellow, after he was taken off because he had that aerial challenge. I think it was with Cunha. It was just like shoulder to shoulder, but obviously the size of Ibu sort of flattened Cunha a bit, but it wasn't a foul or anything. But like they were talking about a red for him, then Carragher, and Carragher was like, "Oh, it's heavy contact." And I was like, "Shut up, please, Jamie."
Yeah, I thought I could see it being a foul.
Carragher with Liverpool when he's commentating on Liverpool. It's everything, like when it's a Stonewall Panther, also he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure," and he gets on my nerves, Carragher.
I can see it could be being a foul, not necessarily yellow, but I mean, with our history of a lot of referees who, you just at that moment you're thinking like, I don't know if I want to keep, poking the beehive here. There was a comment that was said by, I think Dustin said it, or Realism Jarrett. Let me see. Or oh no, I was just gonna bring up I was more. It was by Dustin. It was he was more confident versus Everton. That I guess I think he's saying that for us to get a result, maybe that confidence is the way it is because of the Everton result is why maybe you think that way currently. I was thinking. Would you agree on that? Like, is maybe the reason, after having seen us get scored on late by Everton, it might be a little bit more prevalent because I don't think really many of us were thinking that Everton were going to have a late. I don't know if we were thinking they're going to get a late minute equalizer against us, but now that it has happened, it kind of that image kind of sits in your mind that in a tight game like this, especially against a team. Again, I thought that this team, I thought unlike Everton, it was a little bit back and forth a little bit with Everton. With the way that this coach set up the team to defend and in the second half, or at least especially towards the end of the game, end of the second half, I wasn't necessarily worried about conceding a goal, but maybe I'm alone on that. Did you feel the same way as Dustin did? We can go. I'll ask JK that question.
I'll tell you the truth. Until they scored, I didn't think they were going to score. So I was really chilled at halftime. They didn't danger us. They did nothing, And then Cunha's goal was pretty top class. He had enough time there to make a dinner, wash the plates, everything, bro. The amount of space he had there to get that shot in, just terrible defending, midfield non-existent.
For me, it was just a quality finish. Like, he just changed it onto his left side. Like, it was just a quality finish. I've got no complaints there about the defending. I wasn't too concerned before they scored that they were likely to score, as you just said, JK. I wasn't like, oh, he's about to score now. But I was always, a little bit like nervous that they might, with him in the side and other players. Yeah, I mean, we got over it. Like, we got over the line. But it was a tough second half, wasn't it? Like, we made hard work for ourselves, like, didn't we?
You know why, bro? Because there was not one guy who said, you know what? I'm going to put my foot on the ball. And the one guy who probably can do that is Diaz, and he came off, That was the problem second half. Not one guy, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, none of them. Just getting the ball and just holding it.
But well, that much I will agree. Sorry. I was just going to say, that much I will agree with you on that. Bringing off Lucho and then putting Dom in that spot doesn't get you that kind of ball control that you get from Lucho. I'll agree with that. Yeah. But at the same time, like, you might get a little bit more of what we were just saying, which is that defensive presence that you don't have. It's like, as much as I'm very, very high on Chiesa, and I think that he is going to maybe pan out to be one of the better acquisitions from the summer. Um, I'm not thinking that he's going to be a defensive stalwart, you know, and he might not even go out there and be collectively in tune with everyone knowing where he has to be. You know, Brian was talking about how the bench was like emphasizing and really like spurring on uh, uh, Darwin's involvement in tracking back and being defensively focused and dialed in. You know, and that's someone that's played with this team, played with this like mentality and concept that Liverpool play with, at least. Um, that would have been I don't know, that would have been a lot to ask for from Chiesa, I think. But I didn't mind the tactical formational change that he brought with what he did, because he got the result basically, and that's what I was and a lot of us were calling for that in the game against Everton, you know, as to, like, you know, bringing on someone that could really hold down that, at the time, 2-1 lead, and rather than go searching for a goal, just hold on to our lead. And
Well, just to Dustin's question, my opinion would be, uh, I watch far too much football to be sitting there 2-1 with my feet up doing the crossword. I mean, it takes one mistake and it's 2-2. So at 2-1, your eyes are glued to it. You're not going, oh, this is done, you know. Especially the way they were playing. I don't really take, oh, well, we lost the game. We lost a late one against Everton. It might happen again. It's just, no, this game is live right now and it's 2-1. So one shot, one mistake, one whatever, it's 3-1 to us, or it might be 2-2 to them. So not like nervous, kind of going, oh, we're going to lose this. But I wasn't sitting there, oh, don't worry, we're going to ride this home. We're going to make it easy, because they were the ones creating chances and we weren't. But it's all part of it, you know, that bit of resilience, that bit of like I'm with Lee. I think if we'd scored the Cunha goal, I don't think we'd be saying they gave them all the time in the world. I think if you look at the flick from Bellegarde, the drop of the shoulder from Cunha, Cunha had all the space in the world in the same way that Salah did, because he dropped the other guy. He dropped the shoulder, made that space for himself. That's what top players do. You know, they will, a top player making movement will beat the defender. So he made that space for himself off a great little flick from Bellegarde, and he buries it. I just thought individually on its own, it's just a great goal. The same one with Salah. Salah went to shoot, feint, shoot. Your man had to go off, I think, didn't he? You know, Salah put him on the ground and then bent it around him. He made this. It was pretty much the same goal. The way he made the space for himself and finished it. So yeah, I wouldn't be overcritical of our defense on the Cunha one. We're talking about last night. I was hoping he would fail his audition. Hey, look, go ahead and have a good audition, but lose the game, that's fine. But yeah, he showed why everybody likes him, why everybody's interested in him. Well, you know,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now it's 3 points in the back pocket. That's all we wanted. Start of the game, we wanted those 3 points. We've got them.
Agreed. I agree with that. This game right now is 1-0.
Oh, really?
Spurs
Cool.
are up early, 20th minute in this match. I didn't see who scored the goal.
Okay. I'm surprised nobody in the chat has put it in.
I saw someone put it 1-0. Put the update of the score, but I didn't see who. Madison got the goal. Of course he did. Only because I had Madison. I used to have Madison on my fantasy team. Now I don't. He's too in and out of the lineup. But Bonkers is saying Trent wasn't great going forward, but his defending was okay. Okay.
Couple of shaky moments in the first half, early doors. Gave the
Yeah.
ball away,
Pass.
went out for the corner. Yeah.
Snide, wasn't it? It was basically the first action of the match, that back pass, wasn't it? Got away with it, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's,
I
you know,
I just find it funny how the commentators it's almost like every commentator has to, if they're going to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold, they have to make the whole, well, he's not much to look at defensively, but he's certainly a presence going forward. It's almost like they have to say that at least
Yeah, it's in the
once.
contract. It's in the contract.
Yeah, it's in the contract.
in the contract, yeah. In the contract. Like Carragher, it's in the Sky contract to question every decision we get on the field and be like, "Oh, I'm not supporting Liverpool here just because I play for them." Yeah, we get it, Jamie. We get how the concept works. Just like before us a little bit more and don't be a tit all the time. He's turned into a bellend on our commentary. I don't mind his other thing when he's not commentating and he's just in the studio. I can put up with him then. But commentary, I wish he'd get someone new than Carragher to do our games.
Relieved when Trent went off. Okay, interesting. I thought Trent had a really good. I thought Trent was going to score actually for us at one point because he had that. He finally got it to the foot that he wanted to get it to, and it was off that rebound, and he just absolutely skied the shot though, which is surprising. Normally, he at least gets it on target.
That one's still going. There's too many people in front of me. He's trying to get it over. He should have just gone low. If you don't get it, you'll get a deflection or something. But he was trying to get it over everybody and under the bar. That ain't going to happen.
Garnacho just missed an absolute easy shot. Didn't even get it on goal. Anyhow, was there really any feel good moment for you in this match?
That Endo challenge at the end, bro. Yeah, because he made a few sort of gave cheap sort of free kicks away. But at the end there, when he sort of tackled that guy and stuff, fouled out and stuff, that sort of made up for that. You know what I mean? That was about it, bro. Like, it wasn't a great game, was it? If you look at it. Pretty poor. For me, the next days, we're going to sort that midfield out on the training ground. Too much space for the opposition to walk through. That's my only worry right now. Yeah, because we're always going to score goals. But I think when the midfield's sort of weak, we play weak. When we play strong midfield, our team is strong. It's as simple as that, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Dustin's saying something about Garnacho. He's a baller. I said the same about Langa in those days, and even McTominay. Yeah. Something about Garnacho. If you ever saw in the movie Tropic Thunder, Ben Stiller did Ben Stiller's the character that he played that got an Oscar is what Garnacho reminds me of for some reason, with his haircut. He's got a really wild haircut. Anyway, you get a chance, check out Tropic Thunder. It's a funny movie. Dustin says the whole game is a feel good for him. Okay. All right. Did you have a feel good moment of this game, Lee? Anything about it that was like made you go, oh, that's what I was looking for. Oh, you know. No, Lee, you there?
He's probably
Yeah.
going to make up.
Oh, he's doing. Okay, I got you. How
Kwanzaa,
about for
bro,
you,
actually,
Brian?
you know
Though?
what? I'll change mine to the Kwanzaa tackle at the end.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was as much as I
That got
love
us.
Endo. For me, I'm hoping that like that was bold and was good to see because Kwanzaa is a player that we need to refine. You know that I don't know that loving feeling or whatever you call it. You know that's
I
for the
thought he
song,
did
but like
okay today. Do you know? I thought he was okay today. He was fairly competent when he come on in a a tough second half. I was pleased to see Endo, and I hope this appearance for Endo heralds the start of more Premier League minutes for him in midfield when we're in winning positions in other games. I'd like to see more action for Endo in the forthcoming fixtures. Like, how long did he get today, Endo? He got about half an hour. Did he get?
I'd have to check on that one. Give me a
Yeah, a
second.
couple of half an hour you won't be far.
Yeah, I was glad to see it anyway. As I say, I hope it heralds the beginning of more action for him in midfield in coming weeks and coming fixtures, that we see more of this. So we want to lock results down and hold on to what we've got, bring Endo on. Don't always, we don't always have to go for extra goals. Like I want us to be a good enough defensive side where we can just sit on leads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you could call it half hour. You got 19 minutes. You got subbed at the 71st minute, but then there's also extra time that he had to play.
Yeah, it was about 7, I think, in the end.
Mm-hmm.
It is good when you're confident enough in your side to be able to sit on leads,
Yeah, but I don't feel that from today. I didn't feel that from today, Lee. I know it's like, oh, you blah blah blah, but to me that didn't feel like us locking it down, and it was still on a knife edge for me anyway. To
Mm-hmm.
2-1, we did lock it down. We were more defensive, but I don't think it was so much kind of by choice. If you hear what I'm saying, it just it was. I haven't. Look, I'm not ripping into it. I'm not saying it was this or was that. All I'm saying is I've never seen us played like that under Slot. I've never seen a team come to Anfield and just kind of, now was that by design? Okay, it was pretty risky design, but all I'm saying that game to me was kind of unique today in what I've seen. That second 45 minutes was like, when is the last time Wolves came to any Liverpool side and dominated the numbers in terms of shots? And attempts against us in the second half at Anfield, where we normally go big. It's
To be honest, it seemed like Slot was happy enough with what he was seeing in the second half because he didn't make extra changes, did he? After Endo come on, he
He
didn't
looked
try
bloody
and
relieved walking off, mate. I was just going to say that was my feel good moment. Was the final whistle? That was my. I
Oh yeah,
felt good when the
that's
final
funny. In
whistle was.
injury time, mate. I was shitting my pants in injury time. Like I had
But
everything crossed.
the thing is, though, with him doing that, those at least at least with the Endo sub, at least because that was his final substitution of the game. If he's moved Dom over, if he's put Endo into the spot right there and then, he's pretty much set his mindset of what he wants this team to do. Like you're not going to bring Simicast on. That doesn't help you defensively. It actually weakens you personally. Say what you will about Robbo, but I think it weakens you defensively on the left side. You're not going to bring in Elliott. As much as I love Elliott, I don't think that enhances your defensive abilities. You're not going to bring on Chiesa. It doesn't enhance your abilities. McConnell might have been a stretch for it. If you want to bring on McConnell, you could have brought him on possibly, but then that means you're taking off. It also means you're taking off possibly two of your best defensive midfielders in Grab or Maka. So you're not going to want to do that.
No, you wouldn't put McConnell in that game. No chance.
So that's my point. Like, as in, there's only so much you could possibly do with trying to make a different, strategy with your formation. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I mean, is anyone out here saying that was fine? That was normal to get basically done over like that in the second half? I don't think it was.
No, I'm not saying it was normal.
No,
It's actually strange. I've never seen this year. I don't think this year we've seen a tale of two halves like that. If you look at the momentum charts, how they have the momentum charts, it's green. For instance, this time it's green for Liverpool, blue for Wolves. It's all green pretty much in that first half, and then the second half it's primarily blue.
yeah,
I'd say it's like 85% blue.
But when is like you try and when is the last time that would have happened against any Liverpool team, not just this slot team? So yeah, I suppose you learn your lessons along the way. You know,
Yeah.
we're unbeaten at Anfield pretty much in years and years. All game here and there. So that wouldn't be, like I said, that would not be the norm for a team to come and dominate the second half that's in 17th place. But we move and we learn from it. And it's really annoying me. It's like with Lee as well. It's kind of, and it's a thing like, I don't know. To me, this seems new, right? And it's just kind of like, I'm not saying, I say, oh, I have to take him off because of this, but it's like, now it's this idea, oh, one of our centre halves is on a yellow, so we need to take him off. Like, that's where we've come to now. It's like, oh, if you have a centre half that's on a yellow, we better take him off.
Yeah.
Like, players used to be able to get through games on a card. Now, I know Ibu today was different. He was walking the line. The ref was kind of looking at him going, I don't want to send you off, but, so I just, I think it's unfortunate now that the game is so
Yeah, it's taken a turn that
micromanaged.
it's not like in this respect, the game.
But it was the same with Bradley the other day. Why did we take Bradley off? Because he was on a yellow. Why did we take Mbaya off, even though he came on as a sub against Plymouth? Because he was on a yellow. Now, of course, that might be a little bit, well, he wasn't having a great game, but he was on a yellow, so we took him off. But it's like, it's kind of like, it's become accepted now almost, sort of like, oh, well, he was on a yellow, so we had to take him off. It's like, because the tiniest little thing now, and it's like, he might get another card. I just hate, the likes of Fernandinho, they play 90 minutes with a yellow card.
Yeah, because
Fabinho
it's the climate
great.
of the refs, bro.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
wow.
into a frenzy now, wasn't it? It just annoyed me because we were at home today, but it did hear their crowd, their fans screaming every time he made a challenge once he'd been booked. But as I say, we were at home. We don't necessarily do that as much to opposition players who are on a yellow screen for them to be sent off every time they make a challenge. But maybe we should.
We got class, bro. We got class.
If you can't beat them, join them.
But two of the yellow cards that Wolves got today, they revived when the foul went their way. They were given a foul.
Yeah.
And during the foul, twice, one of their players either spoke too much to the ref,
I imagine that
or the other one asking for a yellow. So that's something I haven't seen in a while before either. It's like when a foul is given for Wolves, and then the yellow card comes out, and it's for a Wolves player. This guy wasn't taking any of that chat today. It's like calling for yellows or anything like that. It was like, that's all it takes now to get a yellow.
You know what?
That's all it takes to get the yellow, and that's why Canada, we used to play, we used to win league titles in 32 game seasons with a 14-man squad and the same centre halves playing basically the whole season. And now it's like, oh, he's on a yellow, you got to take him off. It's just everything is on such a wicked knife edge
from what the game it's a world away from what the game used to be. In that
one mistake, oh, he's off, and we have the bigger squads now. We have 5 subs, or we have 5 subs we can bring on 3 rounds.
Taking your best bloody players off, do you? Just because they're on a yellow, it's part.
But the referee was cool today. I feel like we always moaning about refs, but I think today the referee was sound.
He was all right in some instances, others not. He was good in that respect that he didn't let them bully him into giving us yellows.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what, you think that's a yellow? No, this is a yellow. No, fuck off. But I'm pleased. Yeah, other instances he wasn't so good. I thought like he had the potential for losing grip of the game, like himself, like Oliver did the other night.
Bless Pops. Hope you're cool, bro. And Dustin. Yeah, do you think sitting back early was a slot call of players? I don't know, bro. That's what I was thinking, you know. I was thinking, who's telling these guys to play in first gear again, second half? Like, for me, I think that's more from the management than the players.
Maybe
Yeah,
we thought we could get away with it with a lazy second half, you know what I mean? And a less, less effort. Less effort.
I think lessons are being learned. Yeah, I think a lesson was learned at Plymouth in a big way. A lesson was learned at Goodison to a degree, but that would be negated by, or you could counteract that by the fact that that was our previous game, and then we did that today. So he's learning about certain things. He's never going to have to go to. He's never going to have to play a game like the last ever derby at Goodison again. No one's ever going to play that game. That's done now. That's a one-off. But I think over the last couple of weeks, yeah, it's stuff he already knew. But like Pops is saying, you take them off when they're on thin ice. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Pops. That ice is getting thinner and thinner now. It used to be an inch thick. Now it's a millimeter thick. You know, it's the slightest little thing now, and you're risking that yellow. You know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the way it is. The ice used to be a lot thicker. You know, the idea that you'd bring off the centre half at halftime because he was on a yellow, it's like, yeah, just go out and play your game, man. Don't get a yellow card or you're going to get sent off. You trust the player. Now it's like we have all these options. Yeah, we're going to do this. You know, when Kwanzaa comes on, he makes that great challenge at the end. He makes his impact. He probably needed
he earned
something
his
like
money
that.
that
You know?
week. He earned his
Yeah,
money
like
that challenge.
you'll know, Lee or Jake, you played football. You'll know that for some like Kwanzaa, yeah, a lovely bit of play or a goal or a header or something. Yeah, he'll feel good on that. But a proper match-winning tackle, oh yes.
Well, yeah, that's the one.
Oh yes.
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's his bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah.
As a centre back.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be. That's the one, Gerald. That's the one, man. Get in there, beat the guy. You nearly got turned. You stop them getting an equalizer. That's your job as a defender. Yeah, nice bit of silky play. Good on you, man. But no, he's going to be walking out. Everyone's going to be slapping him on the back for that one.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Bro,
his bread and butter.
He got us to win. He got us to win with that challenge. You know what I mean?
He needs more of that. It's like Dom. It's like Dom needs one to go into the top corner. You know, like he did before when he needs a game where he gets a goal and an assist. You know, just to bring his confidence back up. With someone like Kwanzaa, yeah, you can have a nice game, but a header off the line, or a match-winning tackle, a proper, that will be his. That's his juice. You know, so at least he did come on and he did his bit. You know, he did his job. So.
Yeah, I thought all the subs played a decent part, like Endo and Bradley.
Yeah.
They all played a decent part, didn't they?
Just as Pop said, they earned their money today.
I wouldn't mind 10% of that money, to be honest. I'll tell you that.
Either any one of those players checks. Be nice.
And the funny thing is, Kwanzaa, Endo, and Diaz, all three guys where people have moaned about them this season. All three of them today got us that win.
Yeah, it's about.
Can I ask the question I asked earlier on, Clive? I was interested to know, and I'll ask the chat. If you know the one, the Diaz one, kind of went, he just kind of ran into the ball and went in. If that hadn't gone in, do you think the ref would have given a penalty? Because I don't think they even bothered talking about it because it was a goal in the end. But if that had kind of just skied off his knee and just gone, off,
I don't think he would have given a penalty.
But do you think it was a penalty if it hadn't?
No,
I think that was pretty close. It was clumsy enough. You know, it was no worse than the the one he did give a pen for, there was just so much contact in that. But
Yeah.
Pops thinks he would have. Pops thinks it would have been a pen. Yeah, I was looking at it thinking, I reckon he would have given a pen if that had gone in. He got the decision kind of out of his hands, which ref was probably thinking a nice one.
I guess we wouldn't be able to find out whether if he would have complained as if it was a penalty, or at least if it was a foul. But I agree. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I think
Nowadays,
he
you gotta
might
play.
have
You gotta play. You have to actually not only get fouled, but you have to actually make the antics. You know, you gotta.
Yeah.
I saw people after. In my impression, for instance, Konate was fouled in that Everton game, for instance, but because he didn't protest or anything like that, you know, or try to get the referee's attention while play is still continuing on, people are like, "Oh, he must not have thought it was a foul." I'm like, I don't know about that. Sometimes in your brain, in your mind, you just play on because you don't want to you just play on till you hear the whistle, as opposed to play thinking or stop playing because you think you should hear the whistle.
Yeah, it's not in his nature to just throw himself to the ground immediately, but maybe it should be in future.
Yeah.
I hate it though. I hate the way the game's gone with all this shit. You know what I mean? They really have done a good job of ruining the game. With a lot of there's just there's no consistency with refs, and a lot of the physicality has been taken out of the game, hasn't it? And then you get things like that with Konate. I mean, it was a small incident, but it has really done my head in. I think it was probably bothering him today, because he was quite keen at seemingly to win. It's just muscling his guy out the way before the ball, before the ball got there. And he was having a good game. I was getting into him playing and that, and then all of a sudden this happens and he's got to go off. He has to go off, You could see Hooper saying to him, "It's for the build up of fouls," couldn't you? After that pull back, because it was on the edge of their own bloody box, wasn't it? You know what I mean? When he got that yellow, it was on. We were attacking, oh, fucking there you go.
Because Dom and Mo protected and got nothing. Oh, protested and got nothing. I think he means protested and got nothing. I understand what you're saying. It also goes to why I would go as far as to say what I said is because Mo and Dom, even though they protested, Mo, I think, unfortunately, is one of the more. Mo is unfortunately one of the bigger superstars in the league that doesn't get superstar calls all the time. Sometimes I it's almost like I think he gets fouled quite a bit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't it's almost as if they don't want to give him the call for some reason. Yeah. Even though he's going to
really gets worked up. I've seen him get a little bit worked up with one today where a foul was given against him, but he really gets worked up, does he? Which is to his credit, but so many times where
I'd have to remember. I don't remember the Dom
dragged to the floor sometimes, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You've got both, got hold of him with both hands, got hold of his shirt and that, and I've seen some terrible ones on Mo, over the time he's been here that haven't been given. But it's just something we've got used to, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
More often.
But again, that's why I said that too, is not to hark back on the Everton game once again, but why I said that about the comment to what Pop said is because in that game, it was the reaction of the crowd and the antics of the Everton players that got them a lot of phantom. I thought that they weren't fouls. I don't think there were fouls, but they got the calls simply because they made, the antics. They did the whole protesting, of it all, trying to play act to get the call.
Trying to ruin the game.
I mean, like my part and point again is we're possibly, if we wanted to, we're possibly playing against 10 men against Everton. If Cody goes, just as soon as he starts getting dragged and held and pulled, rather than try to play on and try to make something of it, if he just goes down the ground, goes to touch, that player's already on a yellow card. He probably should have got a card for that anyway, because he was holding Cody, and that possibly might be the play that actually injured Cody. Actually, to tell you the truth, but yet because he tried to play on, because he continued on, he didn't get the call. There's Salah had another type of play like that earlier in the year too. But if you,
my dad told me before that Everton are playing their first game at the new ground today or some shit. It's like, I don't know, under 20s or something. They're playing at their new Bramley Murdoch Gate ground today or something. My dad reckons. At least we'll never have to go back to Goodison. Yeah, I just felt like we were going to come out on top on wins with that thing, weren't we? And I reckon Michael Oliver put a bet on it staying level, hadn't he?
Manly. I was saying Jota wasn't at the races today. He made the wrong decision multiple times. Yeah, I thought he was absolutely superb for the penalty. The way he dropped deep and won the ball and played it was great bit of it. Love to see a bit more of that. He had a couple of bits and pieces. Penalty, non-penalty, but what was the one maybe where he took it and he ran across and he was going to have the shot? He could have pulled it back to Trent, but he's a striker. He's a forward. He's going to go for that one. But yeah, kind of average enough game. But I thought that his involvement in the first in the penalty was brilliant, though. So.
Yeah. That it was. That was just as you said. That was pretty average. Probably average performance from Diego.
Yeah, I mean, along with
why are people cooking Darwin? That's almost like because he's Darwin, and that's our fan base.
He wasn't great when he came on, but for me,
he wasn't great. He was not great at all. Yeah. But he wasn't.
He went at the races, bro.
He wasn't what I personally don't think he was what Trudon said, but
what did he say?
I'm not gonna. It's a curse word. That's why I'm not gonna repeat it. But
he's disappointing, JK. Let's just say disappointing.
Let's leave it as that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but for me, bro, it's about time now. Certain players sort of stepped up a little bit because in the Everton game and today, we weren't in control of any of them two games really. Controlling the game. So we need to get that control factor back into our team. Control games, man. We've got two big games coming up now, Villa and Man City. We better control them games, otherwise the result ain't going to be great.
I'm not a football genius scholar or anything like that, right? But to me, if your midfield is creating, like if your forwards aren't getting chances, it's because your midfield pretty much doesn't have the ball, right? And if you are creating chances, it's because your midfield does have the ball. So in the first 60 up to an hour and a half, or 68 minutes, they had 9 chances or 9 shots, and we had 0 in the whole second half. So obviously, to me, that would suggest that their midfield was dominating the game. So if their midfield is dominating the game at Anfield, then yeah, like JK said earlier on, like we need to get a hold of that and see what's going on. If there is a problem, if people have figured out a way of, like with Everton, like the guy said, they're doing a very simple thing. They're just putting two guys between VBD, Gravenberg, and they can't pass the ball to Gravenberg. So
Yeah.
if we're becoming that easy to figure out, and there's this thing that people are doing,
Mhm.
because if nothing else, we should be controlling the midfield at home at Anfield.
Yeah. Simple.
With Dom, with Grav,
Mhm.
with Mac. If
Yeah.
there's something that's gone off there, if there's something that's out of calibration, if teams have figured this out and they're, Slot will be expecting this as well. Oh, we do
It's
this,
learning
they'll
process
counteract it.
as well,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
a learning, it's evolving. So hopefully, if there's something that's going on, because games, like everyone says, games are won and lost in midfield. They always are. You control the midfield unless you play a Forest who take the midfield out of the equation. Sit back and go along. Knock it over all your ballers in the midfield. Don't matter if you got Foden, Zidane, De Bruyne. They won't see the ball. We're just going to ping it over them all day long. Cool. That's your thing. You do that. But, if we need to rejig something or do something like that, because if we're talking about this stuff, I'm probably getting half of it wrong, by the way, but Arne Slot is there right now watching videos, doing analysis, talking about what happened there. How did we lose control of that? How did we end up being on the end of 9 shots and not being able to touch the ball in their box? So I think we have a coach. Like, I'd be worried if I thought we had a coach that only had kind of one trick up his sleeve. I'm just like with the Endo coming on for Diaz thing. I'm almost kind of interested to see how he adjusts to this now and what he does. Will it not be the kind of, oh, well, the team picks itself kind of scenario now?
What do
Might
you
we
agree
change
with Mark?
something?
What Mark A is saying? Then I'll bring Mark A.
What's Mark saying? There is a mentality issue in this team.
All right about
No?
now, yeah. Right now,
Uh,
yeah.
In
that
what way,
way
though?
where
Okay.
they're not
Okay, cool,
bossing.
yeah.
They're not bossing it, bro. Like for me, the games we win convincingly is why because Van Dijk, for example, is just bossing everything. In the last 2 games, Van Dijk hasn't been sort of great. He was better today than he was against Everton. But as soon as Van Dijk's in control of the game, you get this energy feeling like, yep, Van Dijk's in control of everything here. We win them games. And I think right now, with the amount of games we've had, the amount of pressure we've had from the media, everything, bro, he can get on top of players, you know? It ain't like the old days where just the manager gets a mic in front of him. Nowadays, every player's getting interviews every day, 2 interviews, 3 maybe even, doing other videos and stuff like that. So there's a lot of pressure on these guys. But for me, the main thing is the football on the pitch. It don't matter what you do off it; it's all about what you do on it. And for me, the mentality side in the last week alone hasn't been great. We've only lost the 1 game, and that was against Plymouth in the FA Cup. But we got 4 points out of the Everton and Wolves game. It could have been 1 point when you look at it. You know what I mean? So 4 points. It is what it is. Let's move on. But in the next days, sit down with the guys and ask them what's happening in that midfield. I think Slot is to blame in that way of what was his tactics going into that second half. Was he saying, okay, guys, we're not going to come out of second gear, just control the game? Because for me, the amount of space and time Wolves had in that little phase where they're sort of getting back into the game was that a tactic? Was that allowing them to do it, or were you just tired, or what? What was it? Lethargic mentality could have been 0. Yeah, it was lethargic. That's the word. Nice one, Max.
Yeah, we have played twice since Wolves had last played, so
Have we, though?
had burden on proceedings, didn't it?
How have we played twice since they last played?
Because they were out the cup and we had the rearranged Everton game.
They were out of the cup in the third. Oof. Who knocked out? Who they get knocked out by, like,
United.
Marine or something? Oh, they got United in the third round. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they had no cup and
That's
we
not
had the
lucky, isn't
rearranged
it?
Everton game, so we have had 2 games since they've last been on the pitch.
And they've
Yeah,
got.
I
We've
thought they were
got.
still in the cup. That's all. They got United. That is. What's the
What's
story
it
there,
called?
actually? Tottenham.
We're going to play again
Yeah.
Wednesday, and then They got West Ham next.
Half-time, 1-0 Tottenham. Okay.
Mhm.
Half nil. 69% possession Tottenham.
Mm.
3 shots on target to United's 2. Doesn't sound like the greatest game in the world, does it?
Madison,
that
who
Spurs?
was on about Madison yesterday? Was it you
Yeah.
12?
Yeah, I thought.
About Madison,
off
he's
target.
their best.
2 on
Was it
target.
you, Brian, who said that?
No, the lads are just. I just remember reading a story about 6 months ago. I don't know how true it was, but the whole problem with Madison and getting in the team and blah 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 was that he had a massive falling out with Postecoglou. It wasn't out and about tactics. Apparently, they had a big falling out. I don't follow. Max will tell you more than me. But apparently that's why it's just I always just heard like it wasn't really about kind of football stuff. It's just him and Postecoglou. They're both very forthright, self-confident people. And apparently they don't really get on very well. But don't know. That's just a story I read a while ago.
Mark A, I thought
Yeah,
he
wait.
was on
Wolves.
about
Yeah, Wolves are still
Arsenal.
in. Wolves are still
The FA
in the
Cup.
FA
I thought
Cup.
he was on about Arsenal. Are they still in
Okay.
the FA Cup? United beat them. Yeah, Blackburn.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Wolves are okay. So how did we play twice since Wolves played?
Don't know. That's what I heard anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out like what.
That's it on the commentary on the match. Whoever it was,
Yeah.
Carragher
No
or
idea,
his
man.
mate, whoever the other father was.
Sorry, no, I wasn't trying to grill you. It's just that it was sticking in my head.
Yeah.
Like, how have we played
Well, I
twice
don't know.
since-
Whatever. Anyway, it's a bit of an excuse. It's a potential excuse. It's an idea for an excuse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
It didn't look like they had much of a plan in the second half, did it? Like they did look a bit devoid of ideas. Did seem fuck knows what happened. Anyway, we won. Let's just look at it that way.
Yeah, thank God we won, bro. Imagine the feeding right now if it was a draw today. And Desmond
If this was a
Tutu at the
draw,
end.
now
Oh,
that
you
would have
don't
been
know
a
about
mentality
that.
killer.
Another draw.
Mans would be angry right now.
I was shitting me
No, if
pants.
they'd had that one
Time,
chance at
like
the end.
6 minutes of injury time. I was shitting me pants, like thinking of another 2-2. Very worried I was.
Yeah,
More
that's
frown lines on my head now. Like, no, it's just as
no, I wasn't comfortable at all watching that. I didn't think it was like we're taking this on.
Yeah, that weren't comfy, that weren't.
No, it
That
never
was a
is.
cup
Man.
of
It
tea.
was one mistake by them, and it's 3-1 to us.
Yeah.
It works both ways, but just one slip, some guy just decides to have a pop from 20 yards, and he pulls off the. We've seen it happen. It's just
no, I couldn't took a consecutive Desmond within days of the last Desmond. That would have
the 2
killed me.
relegation basic thing. Well, everything away, but 2 things that we've agreed are too good to be in that. I think Wolves. I would have always had Wolves around like a 12th or 13th finish. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be down there. Too many good players.
Yeah,
We have.
It's just the way the Premier League is.
He showed how
But look where
decent
Bournemouth
they
are 5th. Nottingham Forest are 3rd. Their teams they might potentially have been contesting with. So that's another 2 spaces that are gone. It's just they've ended up down. But that's why I was saying to Ant from like we were talking about the other night. I was like, dude, there's this when you look at that league, the way it was, this is between you and one other team. That's you and Wolves. Do you think you're better than Wolves? That Wolves team is way better than Leicester. That's how close it is.
Yeah.
And, that Wolves team, Cunha signs that new contract. Why? Because they worked out a little better release clause because they know he's going.
Yeah.
But nice bump in wages looks good. But the proper kind of release clause, they paid 45 million for him. They didn't get him on a cheap 8 million deal. He's going to be going for big money. He's going to be going. We come up against these boys every week. So it only took Acuna to have another crack, and it was in the top corner. So until that whistle blew, yeah, okay, that's it. That's it. Fine, we did it. But a lot of squeaky bum time, as Alex Ferguson would have said. It's good to. Does that feel good to win it like that? It doesn't to me. Doesn't to me. I'm not taking a kind of a victory sense from that game. Not really. I'm just taking more of a wow, okay. I don't want to see that again.
Got away with
But
one. That
trust
feeling,
me.
you know what I mean?
Kinda deserved that we did our work in the first half, and then for some reason decided to send in the intern for the second. I mean, where was the first half team? It was just strange, honestly.
Yeah, we were a shadow of the side we were in the first half, in that second half.
Yeah, we played them off the park first half. Well, not played them off the park, but it was all Liverpool. Could have been another pen, blah blah blah. Everybody was, trying to get into it. 15 minutes of halftime comes out totally different movie.
I wonder if Villa will have 2 fit centre half for the league game upcoming, because they had to play Kamara at centre half, didn't they? The midfielder in their last game against Ipswich, I heard. Because like Carlos has gone, you told me Carlos has gone somewhere, and Torres is injured, and they were using Concert and Mings because they still had Concert and Mings, but apparently
You got injured.
one of them was out as well, and they had to have either Concert or Mings with Kamara. So that'd be good if they only had that when we played them, like it'd help us, wouldn't it? It'd help our endeavours if we were up against the
Yeah,
team.
look, Kwanzaa didn't start. Kwanzaa didn't start. What's his name? Ming started, but he came off after 16 minutes.
Yeah, Mings went off. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's been
I like
injured going his whole
Onana
career.
at Everton. He's a good player, Onana, the midfielder. I wasn't surprised that Emery bought him because I eyed him up like thought he was a good player at Everton. Decent midfielder, Onana.
Yeah, Kwanzaa saved just 2 points there with that block.
Yeah, it was a golden moment for him, wasn't it? What he's in the game for. Oh, yeah, I forgot we're up against Rashford, aren't we? When we go to Villa. Yeah, they got Rashford now, and Marlon, and Disassi. But yeah, up against Rashford specifically. Scored a couple against us, hasn't he? Did he ever score against us at Anfield? He did score against us at Old Trafford. I remember when Mourinho was manager.
Well, you know, Rashford, has he ever scored at Anfield? I don't think so.
Yeah.
He scored a lot of goals.
wasn't it?
Scored a lot of goals in a short period of time for them. He scored a lot of, big goals early on in his career.
I remember
I
the
think
one
it's-
specific one, yeah, we were away and Mourinho was their manager and he said he was specifically targeting the right-hand side of our defence because it was Gomez and Trent and it was like having Lukaku one, he nodded them down and it worked for someone. It worked for Rashford. That's the one I remember specifically. Like, he cut in off the left and buried it.
That's what he does. But he only does it once every 8 months.
I think it was before we had Alisson. Like, Alisson wasn't the goalie then, no. But, yeah, I think he's scored more than that against us, Rashford. But he has scored against us anyway, so we'll be up against him, won't we?
He didn't start to that. He didn't start the bit, or did he? Did he start the Ipswich game? I'm not sure.
I know that's even if he starts against us, isn't it? Which he may not, like, might he?
Yeah, like the other guy, they brought in from PSG. They have him, Donny Malen. Asensio, 31, pickup from PSG. I'm assuming he worked there under Emre. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. I mean, and at very least, Emre will know him from Spain. He's a handy little player, but
Are we talking about Marcus Asensio?
yeah, they got him on loan. They didn't buy him. They brought him in on loan in January. Asensio, the guy that used to be at Real.
Yeah.
Where it was like him and Isco. It was like who's going to be the next big deal, and it was neither of them in the end. Yeah. He went to PSG. They got him. They got Rashford. They lost Duran. So, yeah, they got Disassi in from. That's the thing from Chelsea, and Chelsea fans apparently were pretty happy to see him go.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Bang on, Robert.
He didn't look much cop at Chelsea, Disassi, if I'm honest. Like what I saw of him, he didn't look the most confident of defenders, but he is young, isn't he?
yeah, they brought in him and Badashile.
That's right.
But they've ended up still playing with like Caldwell and Chalobah, and they want to get rid of. Fafana was the big one. He came and got injured, and then got injured again. But yeah, Dizazi was let go. Oh, yeah, good time to play them, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe don't say it, but maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, they've got that good stuff in midfield though. Ramsey, Morgan, or Ramsey, Rogers. That guy Rogers is on good form.
Mhm.
Oh, no,
McGinn.
no.
McGinn.
As well.
Does anyone have an answer for? the
We're
comment?
playing on Wednesday because of the Carabao Cup final. That weekend we were meant to be playing Villa.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's because of
gonna
Cup.
be isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
But going with how Newcastle played yesterday, 4-0. We've got 2 games against them. We've got to sort it out.
Mm.
Guess this is what Bonkers is predicting will be their lineup, or
Yeah, Tillemans has done really well. Yeah.
Clemens has done really well for him. I think
Mhm. He
definitely.
played well. I've watched a few games with him. He's doing all right, He was meant to come to us, remember?
That I wouldn't want to see, but I'm not going to.
I
I'm
didn't
not
want to
going
really
that
see
far.
it, but he's done. No, he was rumored he's going to come to Liverpool on a
Oh, I
free.
know. I remember that. I totally remember that. Yeah.
Nah, it wouldn't work in that team. Not for me, JK.
No.
Limits, nah. Yeah,
He's good for Villa.
yeah, not for us. He won't work in that team.
Don't tell Ant that. Come on. Yeah, he doesn't have the. He has everything, but the mobility apparently is what they talk about. Like
Yeah.
if he was, they kind of say he has blah 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 blah. But if he had just this bit more physicality, he'd play for Real Madrid or he'd play for PSG or whatever. But it's just that kind of whatever it is holds him back. I mean, McAllister isn't the quickest.
No,
But yeah, it was never
he's a little
fully
bit more engine.
convinced. Yeah, I was never fully convinced by him because he is one of those guys where, yeah, he's great at the moment, but he was also like, he was shit for like 18 months as well.
Yeah.
Villa's the right team for him. He's never a top 4 player. He's never a top 4 player. Top like Champions League player. But yeah, Villa underneath you can
Man
say yeah.
United, maybe a Man United, a Europa League team like Man United, maybe one of those teams, shitty little kind of team like maybe say Man United, crap team, one of those teams. I'd say maybe Manchester United. Yeah, he would have been perfect for them. Perfect. But they went Casemiro. He would have been really good for them, Tielemans. Way better than some of them. But no, they have to go with Casemiro. They have to go with these
Way
guys.
cheaper than Casemiro. Freebie Ronnie Tielemans from Leicester.
Yeah.
That was up on him.
No, but the lad, like you were right, there's plenty of headlines. If you Google Tielemans 80 million Liverpool, I guarantee you'll find a story.
Yeah.
That's how much they were talking about that kid for. 50, 60, 70, and Leicester fans, no, 80 million for him. And then a couple of seasons later, he leaves on a free. And nobody
I always
wanted him.
liked Douglas Luiz. I was quite surprised when they sold Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
I always liked him. City brought him from Brazil, didn't he? He was at City first, Douglas Luiz, before Villa gone. Like Romeo Lavia. He was at City, wasn't he, before he moved on to Southampton and Chelsea.
What's happened to him? Never heard nothing since.
Oh, come on.
No, what a joke. What a joke. I think he got injured, yeah?
Who, Lavia?
Yeah, injured before he even got to
Yeah.
kick a ball from him.
No, he played for 2 months. He was good, and then yeah, he was doing well for him and Casido linking up, and then yeah,
He started
Yes,
playing,
mate.
he was doing okay, wasn't he? Lavia, but then got
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah, but his injury sort of issues were sort of one thing the fans were saying about he gets injured or something.
Yeah, but he was
Something like
injured
that.
first game of the season. The
There you go.
season we were supposed to play him. He was actually injured the first game of the season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was injured. Yeah.
Took him and he just never got into the team then. They only bought him for the sake of buying him, selling him on. That's all they bought him for.
Yeah.
They buy Saicedo and Enzo to play them. But they buy Lavia to turn a trick on him, basically.
all young squad player. But anyway, that's them. I'm not. Leave that to Chelsea, the money bags. Yeah,
I
but
think they
they made.
sold Luis to Juve. Well, he wanted to go as well, but that was good money for them as well. It wasn't even huge money Juve paid for it.
Oh, from
He
Villa,
was
no, it was 25, 30 mil.
Yeah, do you remember the
Decent.
previous season when like he was being played as a DM? And anybody that plays fantasy football will know if last season, if you put Douglas Luiz in your team for that 3 month period where he turned into basically Frank Lampard and he was scoring and assisting basically every game and he cost like 5 million. That guy is way more than just a DM. He was racking up proper numbers. He was like doing like people, oh, you can't get Rodri. And then people would bring in Rodri because they don't really play the game. And then Rodri gets like 3 goals in 5 games.
No, I
Douglas
really like.
Luiz was doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Very, very good player.
I was pleased when we were linked with him. I was hoping we might get him, and I hope we still do if we can. If he
I
comes
think
back,
he's getting up there now, though. I think he's like in that kind of 27 kind of. He's not like a 22-year-old anymore.
perfect age for the DM. Right, DM,
But not for FSG. 27 going on 28 or whatever he might be. Someone's going to prove me wrong now and say he's 23, but I think he's older. I think he is.
He's in March 27 now, I think. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Very good player, though. Yeah, he's a very good player. Can do a few things.
Yeah,
I'm sure Block could find a use for him if we did have him.
Like, no offense to
goal-
anybody there, but if Juventus are prepared to pay you more than Villa are, and you can live in Turin as opposed to, I don't know, Birmingham, you're probably going to go and do it. But I thought he was better than Serie A. I thought he was better than Serie A, to be honest. I was surprised he went there.
Yeah.
yeah, but Juventus are a top team, so I mean, it was a good team for him to go to. But yeah, they.
How's that Vlahovic doing? Because they spent a few bob on him, didn't he?
They were talking about Arsenal trying to buy him in January, but yeah.
Yeah, because he looked really good, didn't he? Like when they bought him, Vlahovic, but I don't think it's gone that well, has it, for him? At Juve? Or has it?
Yes and no.
No.
Good seasons, bad seasons. They did pay a lot for him. 80. I think that was when they were kind of top of everything, but he'd probably score goals in the Premier League. But yeah, someone has dropped off the radar a lot. That's what happens when you go to Juve. Everybody forgets about you. Nobody follows Juve. But yeah, today's game. That's what, like, what's the now that we've all had a bit of time to breathe or whatever? Is it still relief? Is it still a bit like anger? How did we let him get back into that? Are people still annoyed, or are people thinking, you know what?
Bit of both. Relief that we got away with it, but a little bit of anger that we made it that hard for ourselves in the second half. And was sort of like penned in for periods, which was disheartening, but we still won. It's that old chestnut of winning when you don't play well, innit? We didn't play well, but we managed to win. Groovy. Groovy.
Same as right. We got away with one today. The Everton game, like I was comfortable until they scored. Before that, I weren't even worried about Wolves. You know, I think we made it hard for ourselves. Why? Because we didn't want the ball. We weren't hungry for the ball and say, you know what, let's get our foot on the ball, and that was our problem today. But for me, we ain't really got time to moan about the result because we won. But we ain't got time. We got another game Wednesday. So for me, I'm like, I want Slot to sit the guys down, watch the game again with them, and point out where we're sort of making mistakes and not doing enough. And for me, that's the middle of the pack.
Yeah, the video of that second half should be on a loop, shouldn't it? Like,
yeah, man, get it on the loop.
Like and Slot, they should be having a good look at that. Like,
do you think one of them three in the midfield needs resting? Like for me, Gravenberch probably needs a rest.
he could do with it, maybe, couldn't
He could do with it. But it's Villa. You know, if it was Southampton at Anfield coming up on Wednesday, yeah. Go
Endo needs to start. Endo needs to start. He really does
does,
need to
bro.
start. Need to
Yeah.
rest him. God, I mean, McAllister as well. He was shattered as well. I mean, is Jones back? I'll start Jones as well because, yeah, man. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
give
the
them a little
midfield
bit of
needs to be
leeway.
fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, they're shattered. Even the people who that they don't like, like Sobel as well. I mean, people. No one was going to agree with me. I would start Elliot. They all need to rest. They were outbeaten. That was shattered. And again, people, a lot of you guys may probably disagree with me, and maybe in the chat you disagree with me. Everton, we didn't deserve to win, and today that second half, and yeah, we had a good first half. It's a tale of two halves. We didn't deserve to win that either. It's worrying. It is very, very worrying. And for all the people, Kwanzaa had a better game than VVD.
Yeah.
45 minutes. I thought Kwanzaa was solid. And obviously, no, forget the block. I know we'll be having a different discussion right now, but I thought he's very solid. So yeah, I mean, Endo, Jones, if they need to start, because we do have to refresh. We really do, because I'm worried.
This midfield needs
I'm
refresh.
worried about the next two games. Yeah, I am very, very worried. This is a game. You just take the win.
That's it.
You just take the win. You just take the win. That's it. Don't think we deserve to win it, but we just take the win in it. And yeah, good first half. But I mean, is there a man of a match? I can't think of a man of a match.
Diaz.
You probably.
That's it. Diaz is the guy, bro. For me, as soon as he came off, we lost everything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so, JK. But the second half, he was out of ideas as well. Like the first half, he was on fire, but it's very hard for me to give anyone. The second half, yeah, Diaz, the whole team was just
It was funny as well, the way he just
on the chest. Yeah. Yeah, no, he was doing it. Yeah, and can I please stop diving? It gets on my nerves. I hate when, and I don't care if they play for Liverpool. Can I please stop milking? Like Salah used to do it a couple of years ago. I didn't like that, And Diaz, like you're too good for that. It just makes you a target. And the same with Jota. Look, he didn't die, but he could have gone on, but he tried to milk the contact, and God, sometimes our players, man, need to stop this, man. They're better than that. I hate diving.
Young could have stayed on his feet and scored there.
This is what I'm saying, JK, and he milked it, and he didn't need to. And I just hate that. It really gets on my nerves when players do that. And it just like Diaz again, when he was running, he didn't get touched, and he just fell to the ground like someone shot him. I don't know why would players do that. I hate that. I really do.
I think with the Jota one, to me, the game being played in milliseconds, but when you're a top player, milliseconds feel kind of like minutes, and you have all the time in the world to take it, especially when the ball is moving very quickly. Time can actually slow down for the best of these players. I'm not just talking it slows down. Jota saw the guy coming and he thinks, I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this penalty. The guy actually slid right past him. And Jota had primed himself. Jota had time to think, reevaluate, and go, no. There's actually a better opportunity to carry on with this. But he hadn't adjusted for he's lining himself up to win that pen as soon as he sees the guy coming at him. But then the guy literally just misses him. So he sticks the leg out.
So
I think
to get to
But
apply.
I think if he'd had that extra millisecond, he would have realized this guy sold himself. I'm better off staying on my feet here. And he could have maybe gotten a shot up, but I think he committed to it earlier to going down when the guy came in.
That was my whole part and point. That was my whole part and point of what I said about my comment that Pops nominated as the dumbest comment of the week or something.
Nah, Pops, man. Come on, Pops, man. It's opinions, bro. Nothing. It's a fair comment, man.
Can we get
that's what I was saying, like
a trumpet? Like, can we get a little sound?
There you go.
Yeah, he gets it. I didn't know we were
Do,
doing that.
do, 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 do.
Pops, man. Like, get some pops. You need to get some Caribbean sunshine, man. You need to. You just.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Yeah, he needs. Yeah. Pops, man. That's some Peter Colada, man. Come on, Pops. Come on.
But
So it's just
yeah,
weird.
I just it,
But yeah, like
sorry
you said,
in
the guy
still
he
with
sticks,
nothing.
he
Sorry.
throws his little leg into it, and he tries to get a bit of the. It's like shit, man. I kind of I was expecting this guy to clean me out. He's
Exactly.
missed me.
Yeah.
Now what do I do?
Now what do
Throw
I
the
do?
leg out.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, Diogo, dude, just it's there for you, dude. Stay on
Yeah.
your feet,
And
take the
bang.
touch, maybe a
Yeah.
shot, have a bang, have a crack. But it's just that millisecond. Even when I say this is what I'm saying, like he saw the guy coming out of me. He even these guys, he didn't have enough time to change his mind on what he should do. You know, he'd made up his mind he was going to go down, and it killed it in the moment. If he'd been sharper, he would have realized the guy had messed it completely. He could have just stood. I'm finished it. I guarantee he could just stood.
There is a stat.
But
I don't
yeah,
know. I haven't seen the numbers just yet because I'll have to look into it more. But there is a stat that I gave from the Everton game about how there was only 5 passes, I believe, from the midfield to our starting from the starting midfield to the starting forwards. There's only 5 passes that were completed or if not attempted in that Everton matchup. And it was a shocking number because it shows that just what Brian was talking about, like as in chances are if the forwards aren't getting shots or aren't getting attempts, it's probably because the midfield's not getting the ball. And I'd be interested to see what was the number of passes that were completed from our midfield to our forwards in this game. Um, quite a bit of the opportunities or the likes that sometimes we do see our forwards get is from like that diagonal ball from VVD to Salah. You know, I saw even I believe it was Kwanzaa made one today.
Dom did one. Do you remember in the early? Dom did one.
Mhm.
Do you remember that early? He played a pure Trent ball way out to the left wing. Do you remember that one?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
today
That was Dom. That was like I was so yes. Can we see more of this? Like it doesn't have to be Trent is the only one that can do that.
Right.
DVD is the only one that can do that. No, Dom can fucking do it too.
Yeah.
Watch this guy. That was almost my feel good moment of the
Mhm.
it's like that like yeah, look, stop getting yourselves brainwashed that the only person who can pass the ball is Trent. Or
Right.
the only it's like we've got fucking ballers in this team.
Yeah.
And
Or
as
the only
soon
one
as Dom had the
that
confidence
could
to
try
do
to
it,
make
yeah, he pinged one
that pass.
absolutely onto Diaz's left boot. There you go. We've got other people who can do this.
Mhm. Are you
That was
speaking of
probably my
Kwanzaa or
feeling.
Dom?
The one that Dom did, or
Oh,
in
okay.
the first half.
Mhm.
And it was like it was just like a Trent ball. If you had no sound on it, you just kind of assume it was Trent.
Mhm.
And it was just like perfect. It was just like, look, we've got other players in our team that can also play that kind of pass. We're not just Trent FC when it comes to long passes. You know, it's like maybe you will see a bit more without being weird about it. Like sometimes when people say, "Oh, Dom would do more, but he just passes it to Salah," or well, maybe if Dom was like, "Dude, we need long switches from someone," and Trent has gone to Real Madrid or whatever, you might see this guy step up. Oh, look what he can do. Let's see more of that. You know, let's see more of those people that are in our team that have these abilities, not kind of hiding in the shadows of other people.
Yeah. Agreed.
Hey, Marianne.
Hey.
And Squidly was in our dance. Squidly saying, "Big up
Yes.
your
Yes.
3 points
Big up.
was
Big up,
all right."
Squid.
100%. Exactly, man.
That's what
Exactly.
we needed. Yeah.
Yeah. We can tear it up. We can, you know, pull it to pieces because that's what we're here to do. But right now, the league table is all you need to see.
That's it. Simple.
The record books don't come with highlight packages. It's just numbers.
Numbers. Who's at the top? And that's it. In a bad week where we could have got 0 points from 2 games, we got 4. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, picked up four out of 6, basically.
And then this week is 3 from the 9 that we could get so far out of 1 game. So for me, Villa, 3 points there would be nice. Man City, 3 points there would be nice, you know. But for me, to
This
get them
block
3
of 3
points,
games. Yeah.
we need the midfield to really sort of refresh. God knows what they can do with it. But for me, out of the 3, maybe rest Gravenberch against Villa. I don't know. Start with Endo. Do something.
You know that's not happening, but keep.
I might regret
But
this. I might regret this, but I have a question for Lee. I may regret it, but I have a question for Lee. Right? Sorry if I may. Lee, you have been on Andre watch all week. Okay, you've been. So you got the team today. You said so. As the guy that's been out there twitching for Andre, as it were, you know, as in looking through the binoculars, what did you make of the boy, the myth, the legend, Andre Trinidad? Your first time seeing him play?
Andre Trinidad, he was all right. He's not a bad player. He had an all right game. To be honest,
do you think we missed out on one? Like, were you waiting to see? That's why we were looking at.
Not on that evidence, but like maybe he could be a good player in time in the Premier League. To be honest, I didn't focus on him as much as I should have because I mentioned that, didn't I, before the game? I wanted to see it.
I did.
About it, like,
okay.
I was so focused on the result and what was happening in that week, I forgot to focus on him that much.
Yeah, no, I just wanted he was your guy. We were all very interested in him, you know.
What did you make of him?
He's tidy, lad. He's tidy. I mean, it was him that Jota took the ball off, really. You know, when Jota dropped deep and won that ball and spun and gave it wide real quick, which is beautiful. It was him that he was in the duel. He won it off him, span, turned, got Diaz the penalty. So that was really where it stood out for me. But yeah, he's just tidy, you know, tidy little player.
I was gonna say the same. I thought he had a solid game, nothing spectacular, but certainly not a poor game.
Just tidy.
Yeah,
it's a good word.
Plus, I mean, he's in the midfield where João Gomez is going to get a little bit more of the action when it comes to any real offense. But I thought he was decent.
He's kind of tiny too. He's not just tidy; he's also very small. He's a real kind of he doesn't look like like that kind of Kante thing. Well, he couldn't possibly. Oh, right, okay.
Holy
it's sort of like okay. He's 5 foot or he's 5 stone wet. He can't last in it. Oh, okay, he's dominant.
Makelele was very small. Well, not very small, but he was small, wasn't he, Makelele?
Yeah.
Mascherano was small.
Xerxes almost with the equalizer there.
Still 1-0, is it?
Still 1-0. Still 1-0.
He's gone for Xerxes, Garnacho, and Højlund up front, hasn't he, today? Cameron.
Yes.
Yeah, I like KJ's style, man. I like KJ's style.
But it's interesting. I don't know if Højlund's playing as the. Oh, Højlund's got a shot. He's playing on the left a lot.
The link is in the group chat, KJ. If you want to drop back in, there's a new link. It's not the old studio we're using our own, but there's a new link. It's in the WhatsApp group. If you want to drop back in, KJ, before we finish up, give you a shout.
What you can do is you can use the old link and then just go into the studio. I think.
Does it work on that too? Does it? Yeah, sorry. I must have spelled Sunday wrong or something, but it opened up a new studio for some reason. It worked the last time I did. Cool. Yeah, but he was saying Bellegarde. I mean,
he's a problem.
Yeah, the flick.
Well as Bellegarde.
I'm gonna say this.
Matusi.
I
Was it
I
Matusi?
said to Andy like months ago when Ant first came on the show, like I thought Leicester had enough to survive, but now I'm not so sure because the Southampton, Ipswich, and that Leicester just aren't as good as Wolves, are they? After looking at Wolves today, and how
No,
many
no.
players
But they've
they've
got a
got.
bad manager. They've got a rude boy in charge, you know. They've got a rude. Yeah.
Who he still for?
That's it. Yeah, Ruud van Nistel. I don't think they have. Yeah, I just don't think they can. I think Ant is kind of also resigned to that. Also,
Yeah.
and if you saw that today, if you saw what Wolves were capable of doing at Anfield, his team, their team isn't capable. But it's a long season yet. You can have a last day drama where it comes down to it, and they stay
On
up. They've
today's
done it
show,
before.
I mentioned the
They've done it
difficult
before.
side to finish around 13th, something like that, 12th, 13th on today's show.
Yeah, it just shows you the strength of the Premier League. I think
Mm.
it's crazy. It's just absolutely.
What do you think
crazy.
of this question by Robert?
Okay. Short answer, yes. I nearly got caught out because of it.
Mm.
Exactly.
Anyone else on the panel want to?
Yeah, about same as. I think that little lackluster start to the second half. I said in the roll call, we can't allow them to get into the game. I was thinking about the first half, but second half, we invited them for dinner
Mhm.
because we were not as intense as we should have been. Like for me, go for the third and then chill. You know, West they already sort of probably had their team talk at half time and thought, you know what, got nothing to lose, let's just attack them. What did we do? We didn't counter attack them, we did nothing, not once. So we never had one shot on target, shot on goal in the second half. What's that all about? But that's for me the intensity. I think they were told not to go OTT with it because of the game Wednesday, game Sunday next week. I think hence why on Wednesday, then for me, if that's the way it is, I want to see a bit more energy in that midfield against Villa. Yeah.
Well, I came out. I said you get 2-0 up, you can make changes, you can control it, you can turn down the intensity. That's exactly what I said we could do. We went 2-0 up, and it backfired. So it shows you what I know. You know, I was just thinking that would be a good time. You go 2-0 up at home at Anfield. It's Wolves. Make a couple of changes, walk it home. I thought that'd be a good way of doing it. We tried to do that, but so I think we actually like the mind of the player is a very delicate balance. You know, if maybe they need to be, maybe you tell the players like, okay, you can go and take it easy now. They actually do it too much. Maybe we played it wrong that way. You know, it is such a fine line between, you know, keeping it easy maybe and taking your foot off the pedal to a degree where you're 9-0 down in shots on target in the second half in 25 minutes. You know, we probably didn't find that balance. Maybe it was a halftime thing. The Kwanzaa thing was a very much it told everybody we're settling for 2-0. We're going to take it easy. And yeah, there's another team involved in this. They're not just going to play along to your script the way you write it, just because that's the way you want it to be. And yeah, they changed it for us. They made it difficult for us. So yeah, more learning curves, but we got out of Dodge with 3 points. Arsenal fans would be sick. Arsenal fans would be sick thinking Wolves could have won that. Wolves should have got a draw out of that. You know, so we are. Yeah, I think that would be the relief was the kind of the main thing at the end of it. But yeah, we just didn't seem to find that kind of neutral gear. Almost, we just kind of fell back a little bit too much, maybe. But props to Wolves, I think as well. Good players out there.
Spurs looking to possibly add to their lead here. Corner. Basuma can't put it through. Oh, pressing. Kulisevsky's got to score that. Jeez. Anyhow, still 1-0. Coming up close to the 80th minute of this game. Manchester United have the advantage right now. They're pressing forward. And a block by Spence saves them from possibly equalizing up in this one.
Spurs are home, are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that's why that's why the advertisements for all the single ladies and Beyonce is going
I
up.
would have gone more of a 3-3 vibe on this game. I don't know what I would have said. I would have gone for more of a mad kind of game. You know, two unreliable teams. So I'm surprised it's 1-0 because this is fairly far into it, I'd say, is it?
Yeah, it's 80th minute.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely gone more to, the kind of Spurs madness kind of game with this. So 1-0 is very surprising, to be honest. Not from a Man United point of view, but I thought it'd been a bit more craziness going on.
Yeah.
Is Yoro playing, is he?
No,
Don't believe so.
but he didn't start anyway. The back three was Maguire, Mazraoui, and De Ligt.
Mm-hmm.
Lissandro, De Ligt, and Yoro isn't a bad three when you say it.
Lisandro's out for Lisandro's out for the season.
No, I know
Lisandro-
this. Yeah, I know that. I mean,
yeah.
I'm talking about next season for them. That he's
Oh,
built. His back three in his 3-4-3. His first choice would be likely to be Yoro, De Ligt, and Lissandro, wouldn't it? And it's
that
not.
would make sense to me. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yoro,
it's not too bad a back three to start with. Like, he's just got to get the rest of the team, hasn't he?
Well, he's got the Dorgu guy they bought, the right wing back.
Maybe Euro did play.
He might have come on, but he didn't start.
Maybe he's not in the lineup. Because
This new fella they bought a wing back, haven't they? Well, Mazraoui's a bloody right wing back, ain't he?
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
but
what's
he's
wild is the fact that
Dorgu is the wing back that they bought.
Yeah. So they've got him now. So they need a left one, don't they? Dallo, and he's playing Dallo on the left, are they?
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
It's bollocks that when we had Rob Jones, when we first started doing it at back three, and Rob Jones was the left wing back with his right foot. I mean, he was tied defensively, but going forward, it was just a non-event.
I do have a question. I see that question. Give me 1 second. We can answer that in a second. I'm about to pull up this stuff real quick to answer another one before. Let me see.
Yeah, right quickly.
So
Jones at left wing back.
For me, it would have been Bentancur pre-injury, Bentancur, but now Kulusevski.
I don't think Euro's on the bench either. Sorry to cut across you. I don't think Euro's in this game at all.
Yeah, I knew he didn't start anyway. I didn't look at their bench, obviously.
Their bench is wild because their bench is like every player on their bench except for Lindelof is under 20 years old.
Buckle up, folks. KJ incoming. Got some KJ incoming. Buckle up.
Excuse me. And I'm sorry, Jake.
Many sorrow.
What you were saying.
I was for a helicopter over my house.
And then we could bring up Robert's question, I believe it was.
Yeah, I was just saying that I would have taken Bentancur before he got injured from top down.
Oh, is that to answer that question?
Yeah, I think Bentancur was really good before he got injured, man.
Yeah, I've always liked him. Thought he was a good midfielder.
I would. Well, I've always wanted to see Sonny. Actually, I think Sonny would be amazing. And speaking on this Spurs team, if it was last year's Spurs team, I would have obviously taken Kane. But if not, then I might have even taken Romero.
Yeah, Romero. If he can
Romero's
keep,
yeah.
Romero's
I think
not
he'd be a nice addition to our center halves. And I think
Yeah, if we're talking
he
about
would play for the badge a little bit more so than he does for Spurs.
no, and yeah, if we're from this Spurs team, so say like in next summer's window, obviously not Son. Son 5 years ago, yes. Son this summer, age 33, no.
no, not now. In the past, yeah, definitely.
Oh wow! I think he would have been the most Klopp player of all time. But
Yeah,
we
he
got
was
Mane,
very
who was awesome.
Kloppish,
We
wouldn't
love
he? He
Klopp.
would have been very Kloppy.
Very
Kloppy.
perfect, just absolutely perfect. Yeah. But I'm with
Depends. It
Rafa.
all depends, man. I don't see why you guys are. I get like, Son is still out here right now, captain on this team, still
Yeah, he's
leading, still putting in a shift. And I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on how and what Son would be. Son as a player,
sort of sat a little bit for Son.
Yeah, but
Now,
I'm just
as a
saying, we all
player
got
to
a
be,
choice.
I
We all got a
wouldn't
choice.
say that Son has to start, but I mean, as a player to have off the bench, he'd be phenomenal. I think.
Yeah, well, that's your choice. That's cool. That's what I'm saying. For me, it wouldn't be him, but I would agree with you. My choice would have been, even with
Romero.
all their attacking type guys, Kulu and Brandon Johnson. Yeah, cool, nice, all right. They're not better than what we have. And basically my favorite type of footballer outside of the old school number 10 is Argentinian centre halves. I just think Argentinian centre halves they're just my favorite kind of player because they're always good on the ball, but they're hyper aggressive in the right way. They play for, like you said, they play for the badge or all that stuff as well. But they're just some of my favorite type of players. I've loved Romero since he came in.
would
He
they
needs
like
to
to
cut out the getting sent off all the time. Yeah, he got sent off every like 5 minutes when he came in first. Once he calmed that down, I think he'd be perfect for us. We've never had an Argentinian centre half.
You're talking
Proper
about
one.
Squid. Are you talking about Spence? I guess, right?
Jed Spence, the Argentinian centre half.
No, he
Yeah, he
said
means
he would take the left back. He said he would take their left back.
Oh, Squidgy. No, I'm talking about Romero. Yeah, I'm talking about Romero.
I know you're talking about him. I'm
My
just
God.
speaking. I'm talking to the chat.
No, I think he means Region, maybe. Or
Region.
Udogi, maybe.
Oh, Dogi. Yeah, Dogi plays left back.
Spence is right back. I mean, he's played left back for them because they don't have any footballers. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's playing left back today.
Actually,
Yeah,
he's been a bit
Pedro
shit.
Porro's playing right
Spanish
back.
left back who just hasn't done it. There's been loads of Spanish left backs that have flopped. Jose Enrique did okay for us, Jose Enrique, Spanish left back. But Moreno was a letdown one. He had high hopes for Moreno. I did. As Spurs probably did for Region, which didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I think that he's saying like Udogi and Region, and then like Spence and Porro would be kind of the left and right thing. But Spence has done a good job at left back for them this season a few times, without a doubt.
Yeah, good player.
But yeah, give me Romero all day, every day. I just love someone like him in our team.
Yeah,
He doesn't get bullied. He doesn't get shoved around. You're not going to mess with him,
Oh,
So
sorry.
give him the.
Please tell me something horrible happened to Man United. Any United-based Schadenfreude will go down well with me today.
Anyway, KJ, welcome to the show, the shoop. Oh, he's on mute.
Say that again, sorry, bro.
Yeah, well, I just saying, KJ, welcome to the show. Just in case anyone didn't know you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
There was, to be fair, there was a talking point I had, yeah, but well, I would say a talking point, but I don't know. I've come to notice something about Diogo, and it's a bit frustrating because every time he's in those type of positions, why don't he just finish them?
Yeah.
Like, I was so literally when he did it, when I watched the game, I didn't even care about the penalty, whether it was a penalty or not, because I was like, you've just sold him a dream. Like, why not just finish that?
I'd be going off the edge if it was an opposition striker, probably, which goes to show what a two-faced bastard I am when it comes to football. But yeah, with Diogo,
Don't worry. No, when we all start supporting football, we all take the one oath, and that oath is that football will make hypocrites of all of us. Okay, you can't be a football fan without being a hypocrite, because you have to say one thing, you'll always do it. It'll always happen.
when he went down, I was furious because I seen the touch, and I'm still convinced there was a touch as well. But like, it was very slight, but it was there. But he did play for it. But why shouldn't he fucking play for it? As long as he plays for
Nah,
it.
man, bro, look at the space he had. If he just sort of kept his foot on the ball, he had an open goal, bro. He didn't need to fall down. That's the thing. He didn't need to fall down.
The thing is, the angle that everyone was looking at, yeah.
So much, did he?
Yeah, the angle VAR was looking at was beautiful for them.
Yeah, like the thing is as well, yeah, it's what the foot that actually makes contact with the player first is actually his right foot and not his left foot. If you see from the other angle where the defender was sliding in, but even so, I was still more like, just finish that. Like, you didn't even need to try and get feel the contact from the defender there.
That's your He was set ready for the contact, and the contact didn't come, and he wasn't able to readjust in time because it's all happening in milliseconds. But even then, it just like they should have. These guys, he's thinking this is going to happen, and it doesn't happen. He's like, "Uh-oh, got to throw a leg out here. Got to do something." He should have been able to readjust because he had the other one earlier on. He's that kind of player, man. I just think he is that kind of player. He's never been the ultimate left winger, striker, midfielder. Jota is someone who's always been kind of what's his best position, where and you see him today.
His Jota position.
Yeah, it's just a. I know what you're saying, man. Sometimes and then he tried later on. He just tried to force the chance.
But, yeah, sure.
He did all right anyway before he come off. Maybe we got a goal out of him on Wednesday at Villa Park. See if he can score in Birmingham.
I just love him when he's in form. It only takes one goal and then you go on a bit of a run. And that might be all it takes. Jota scores twice in the next game, scores in the other one. Just a little bit of a run over these important games.
Defo starting him at Villa, and I'd be starting him at City as well, while the bastard's fit. Take advantage of him being fit and start him in both games, I would.
Yeah, don't wait for him to be anything else. Well, he's fit, get him in the team.
We need the goals. That's the number 9s, man. We need the goals from them. It's getting to a point, and like I said, can't be all Darwin his job, because if Darwin had this game, then I think people will be moaning again and saying, "Oh, this and that." And as good as he did, Jota, at certain points, he didn't do what he should be doing. You know what I mean? And as fans and as players, we need to be careful with the way they just fall onto the ball.
He hasn't started the league game like I think this century, has he?
Who?
Jota.
Yeah, I think the guy on commentary said this is the first league game he started in 16.
16.
So in 16 it's the first league game he started.
Okay. But it is a long time, and since he started the league game, so we've got to give him that. It was his first game back for a while. Give him time to get up to speed, then we'll get the goals. Yeah. We know the goals are there if he can stay fit. That's all it is. And if he can stay fit, we know the goals will come from him.
No, I get it, Lee, but again, we have to be. I'm just playing the flip side of this coin. If Darwin had the run up like that, and go and have a game with that, there'll be people moaning. So I'm sorry, like he's come on as sub and stuff like that. So and he really should have bagged the goal today. So we can't be one or the other. And as good as he is, he should have bagged and he didn't, and that's the problem. And
Full
again,
time.
this for the same as the Everton game. He had a chance and he's not thinking about it. And he's in the Everton game. He ran. He could have got a shot off. He done too much. And again today, same thing. So he
The
needs to
man
just
we need in that
come
position was
out of that.
the man we need in that position was on the opposite team today, Cunha. I think next season,
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Cunha is just, he's a real talent, man. Today just showed me that, like, I get that for once in the last how many games we've played, Slot hasn't put Diaz in the 9, but how I envision Slot likes a forward, I don't think he wants a 9-9. Like, I would just go for Cunha, me personally. Premier League proven. You saw what he can do. He's a quality player on top of that. I would just go for Cunha.
what fee. What do you think the least fee? What would be the smallest fee that would secure the services? Do you think 100?
For Cunha, he has
Cunha,
a
no.
release clause, and that's
No.
something.
No,
I think
no,
he
not
has a 6
100,
million
Clay.
release clause, and that's basically, we don't like bidding wars and things like that. Release clause FC, and I'd say 40 to 50 mil FC is really us. That's our sweet spot.
I'll ask you a better question then, or at least another question, not just a better question. Isak being stated, it's been stated that Newcastle wants 120 million.
I know
Now,
where you go on this. I know where
being
you
that,
go.
being that we saw what we got out of Diego today. He had today. Diego had, and this is why I understand people's sentiment against Darwin and or just our forwards in general. Whoever is playing our number 9 but 5 shots. That's actually one
It's
of
a
the
lot.
best. Yeah, that's you
Yeah,
can't
you
really
got the
ask.
ball.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a lot of shots for our forwards at least, but that's a good shot for any team really for the most part when it comes to seeing shots being taken by your forwards. Now, albeit Isak possibly would have connected or maybe even scored on one of those connections or not, but who knows? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. He's not. I mean, all forwards miss. My part and point is, what I'm getting at is 120 million, and you're going to have a coach that emphasizes and looks for actually you to be more productive in the defensive mechanisms of the forward game. Are you thinking that 120 million is well spent on a player that isn't exactly going to give you those kinds of results or those kinds of statistics?
Not for me personally. Like, he's at quality, but how I see it is, it's just going to be a similar story like when we got Darwin in terms of the price tag. No, I'm not saying that Isak's comparable to Darwin in terms of how he plays by any stretch, but the initial fee and whatnot, and we got work to do in other departments. Like,
Right.
had we had been like a City or a United, then even at Arsenal in today's day and age, after they spent 100 mil on Declan Rice, can I really see us pulling off a move like that?
Mm-hmm.
No chance. That's just me trying to be as realistic as possible. If we did, surprise me. I'm all for being surprised, FSG. Like, at the end of the day, we all want our club to do well. So surprise me, but based on current state of affairs and based off previous transfer history,
Mm-hmm.
I can't see us doing a move that big. Personally, we didn't even do Bellingham.
Yeah. I think Bellingham also was because of the salary more so.
I think Bellingham was more, not even the salary. I think, to be fair, it was just the amount of bodies we actually needed in midfield, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I was all for not getting Bellingham because we ended up doing the business we did. But
Mhm.
in this window, I'm not as sure or confident that we're gonna have a hit of a summer in the same way we did when we basically replaced our midfield.
Mm. Yeah, could be. I think this is interesting. I know Darwin got ridiculed. And again, Darwin did not have a good game today. I'm not saying he had a great game or not great game, I should say. He didn't have a great game. He had an average game today. But the things that Brian was saying is that's what being more emphasized in at least what it looked like. It was being more emphasized is okay. We got to hold on to this lead. You know, you're gonna have to knuckle down and play some defense. You know, you got to track back. You have to get in on these ground duels and the likes. You know, and unfortunately for today, let me pull up Darwin's numbers too. Comparatively speaking,
I did get that sense that when Darwin come on, it felt like park the bus football to me.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I felt that way too, and that's why it wasn't the emphasis wasn't more on, oh, go take a bunch of runs and kind of try to push that back line or maybe even try to get a couple of different get an opportunity to get a fast break or something like that. You look at the numbers. I mean, he only touched the ball 11 times, was passing, but he had to get involved in 2 out of 3 aerial duels. He was 0 for 2 for his ground duels, was 2 out of 3 for his aerial duels. Had but then if you look at Diego was 0 for 3 for his ground duels, 0 for 2 for his aerial duels. That's in obviously, what was that, 60 minutes worth of play? 64 minutes worth of play as opposed to 25 minutes worth of play.
How did Diogo Jota not win that ground duel against Sander? The one that led to the Diaz goal. How did he not win that ground duel? He won that ground duel to me. So how does he go 0 for 3? The ball was there on the ground. It was him and Andre. He went in on him. He took it. He won it, and he played it. So if he didn't win that ground duel, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that one kind of looked like he did win that duel there, but it could have gone down as a ricochet in the statistics or something like that.
Exactly. So he went in. He won that ball, and he gave it. So yeah, I don't know if we've gone down that road, but yeah, we were just poor across the board, poor across the board. The boys that come in, you have defensive work to do, but you've also got other work to do. So, is it Isaac at 120 million? Is it Cunha? I'm not afraid to try. I'm not afraid to bring in players and see. Oh well, now we do this. I don't think it's set in stone that we only do that. That's what we do, and we'll never change. So maybe if we have an
He'd be
Isaac,
happy with doubling their fee for Cunha if they paid £45 million for him. If we give them 90, do you think they'd let go of him? Say we sold.
No, we won't pay 90.
The best thing that we could hope for, I think, this is what at least how my perspective is. Wolves get relegated. If Wolves get relegated, I think it opens up a lot of different opportunities for us to possibly. We could go in for. You could possibly see us get a Cunha. You could possibly even see us get an Andre. And especially depending on whatever the contract says about relegation.
He signed a new contract for a reason. He signed that new contract like the way McAllister signed a new contract. It was designed to give him the smoothest exit.
You'll have to pay. Yeah.
Yeah, whether they get relegated or not, if he stays fit,
you still got to pay a fee. Yeah.
He'll be leaving. So they've worked that way where, look, we're going to go. But like you said, they paid 45 million for him. So you're not getting them for. They're not taking a loss.
Less than that.
They're not even taking their money back. They're going like, he's coming, he's ripped it up.
You speaking of Cunha?
money at the least, wouldn't he? They'd be what, 90 at the least, I would imagine. They're not going to say, yeah, you can have him for 70 when he paid 45, and everyone's looking at him and saying he's a good player. He's scoring
I don't
goals.
know. I don't know.
He's going to
what is-
accept release call. He's
I
going to
don't know
accept
I
price.
don't know what this new like he only signed a new contract a few weeks ago, so I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
don't
he's
know
going to
what the
accept
contract
release.
says. I'd have to look at it.
He's he's going to accept release calls. He's going to accept release calls. See if whatever happens, he'd be sold for that. No more, no less.
What is the release clause? What is the release clause?
I would guess about 70.
60. I think he's between 60 and 70. I think he's 65, but he's in there. He's in there. So you
But it
pay the
also-
money, he leaves.
Also,
So that's
though,
probably
if
what
they
it
do
costs.
get relegated, there could be
A
an
cut
even
price.
a cut price.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
there
what
could
I'm
be
I
a
did hear
relegation
that.
release
For me,
clause, yeah.
if they get relegated, it opens up a lot more of the opportunity, possibly with Nori, or maybe even like or a lot of these different
I don't think
players.
he will get relegated.
No, I
on
don't want
the
to-
day.
Apparently, it's already been rumored that Nori, if they was to get relegated, has a 20 million cut price fee.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, they all will. They all have Mendes as
No.
an agent. They'll have relegation release clauses.
Yeah, it's different from the release clause deal. Yeah, exactly
They'll have
right. Yeah,
relegation
it'd be
release.
different.
They'll have
Yeah.
wage.
I know Man United be a move for him, seeing as how he's a left wing back and they play.
No,
with
I don't
wing
care.
backs
I
now,
don't want
don't
him.
they?
Okay, I don't want
Yeah,
him.
same.
He's a good he's a good
Same,
fullback,
bro.
but he always
Nah,
has his
Hatzos better.
worries up against Salah. It's like his biggest game of the season is every time he plays against Salah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have said I've done all right against him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
He-
he did all right
loves it.
today as well. to be fair.
Yeah, I think Nori got away with some flipping holding, taking the pen off his shirt. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not saying KJ.
Man United 15th. We were
Yeah,
worried
good day end to the day. A good end to the day, Jimmy. Yeah. Go on,
They're
Spurs.
not going to,
Sorry,
though.
my
I'm
Spurs.
just looking at those numbers. It's Southampton's
go.
done. I mean, with 9 points, they're done. But with Ipswich
All
and
right, so
Leicester both on 17, Wolves on 19. My whole point of what I was saying, though, is that, like, yeah, Leicester or Ipswich managed to get a win or something, and Wolves mess up somehow or some way. All of a sudden, Wolves are in that relegation zone.
Oh yeah.
It's the only one. It's Leicester or Wolves. That's it. Ipswich are gone.
Yeah.
Southampton are gone. It's Leicester.
I agree,
or Wolves.
but I think Ipswich should still go down, but I'll commend them for the fight for still being in the race to stay up. I agree, Brian. 100%.
Found the figure,
Lost
yeah.
in Cunha, 62 million.
Release.
Yeah, 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not as much as
Yeah.
that. We wouldn't be breaking our records, would we then? Like, because we've done that.
No.
Nah, of course.
No.
We only paid 64 for Darwin.
You'll go
It was
somewhere.
plus
You'll go
85 altogether. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be
Yeah,
us
but
surviving, but
everyone
you'll go
always
somewhere.
says the 85. Yeah, but is it?
I know.
Did the
and they always
appearances
say 100,
really
saying
like
100
jump the
is going
add-ons
be
all the way up to
in
85?
euros, like, and that. But fucking, I know it does me. They do me. I do rival fans with
Yeah.
because we haven't paid
I know.
yet. Still, have we?
You'll pay near enough all of it.
It's 85 million euros, right?
Yeah.
But
So
it's
not-
including appearances
but
and goals.
That's
And
the thing about it. It's not. People will go and say, "Oh, it's 85 million euros," but they'll say 85 million. They won't say euros. They'll say 85 million, but it's
Oh, was
euros,
it
not
euros for the
pounds.
pounds, so it wasn't like
Right.
pounds.
It's like
85.
it's like the journos do it all the time. They'll put in a number. They'll put in the higher number.
Yeah, the rival
Because
fans were doing that about
it's-
Darwin, saying he cost
yeah,
100
it makes it-
million
it's-
quid.
It's a bigger headline.
Yeah.
For you to say 85 instead of 65 for something, or or 60 million or 60. I think it's like 64, 65 million was what it was. But they always put that extra as
Well,
it being in the euros as opposed to.
45 back for Darwin, that'd be all right. That wouldn't be too much of a loss. 50 would be even better. But then
I don't
that's
see.
62
oh
to
my
buy you
goodness.
Cunha.
I don't
So-
understand why everyone wants to. I understand, like, as in, and this isn't me just trying to always be on the defense league for him, but albeit, what is the issue of just if we do keep him, why can't we just go out and get another player? Why
Oh,
can't we
so
just why can't we
Diego.
just build upon that? It's not that we don't, because we obviously have money, and we had the money even after we made the acquisition of Darwin Nunez. So it's not like we need to sell Darwin Nunez because of
Still just Diogo's
the
yacht.
money.
Fucking
And
buy
on
him.
top, oh, I was just gonna finish what was I say? I'll let you go, Lee. Um, this on top of that, what he's making for a striker, especially for a starting quote unquote striker,
Okay,
what he's
I've just got.
making and the
Sorry, Phil.
contract is actually market value for what he's making. So
So we're still talking about Darwin, ain't we?
Mm-hmm.
you can if you want. Yeah.
So up until this point right now, we've paid 76.5 mil for Darwin.
Okay.
So since the 64 million, we've only paid basically 2 add-ons of 8.5 mil. His first one was his 10th appearance for us, which was when we played Rangers in the Champions League. And the second time we paid that was basically for his appearances and performances within the team.
So basically, it would take 75 million to get to break even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now everyone can stop saying we
I
paid 85 million as well, because we haven't.
I love Darwin, but he said something actually in a recent not an interview, but in a recent piece, or not, how they do those puff pieces or whatever, and it was like, I think lost in translation or something like that, and he made a comment about Saudi Arabia about them.
Oh, that pro direct thing.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah,
When he
yeah.
said that,
I
was like,
watched
oh,
that.
wow.
Yeah, I know what you're on about.
I was like, maybe Darwin's kind of not against the idea. Maybe.
I had the same thought. I was like, wow, maybe he wasn't against the idea, but there was rumors that Al Hilal who bidded for him.
Yeah.
From the reports, yeah. Well, the manager of Al Hilal was obviously the coach who brought him to Benfica and worked with him at Benfica, so that's where the link was coming from.
And it was a report that there was 2 bids actually for him, but it would have also, despite that, there wouldn't have been, even if they got the money, it wouldn't have been like Liverpool could have turned around and just gotten another forward.
I think
that's the reason why.
No,
Romano, it was Al Nasser.
Have you thought about this? Remember, we had the links to Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah. We did.
If it wasn't a done deal with PSG and Napoli for Kvaratskhelia,
yeah, we were gonna go in.
I genuinely believe there was something to that. We probably would have allowed Darwin to go if we felt like, we could get Kraver in that January window just gone.
That's not a bad shout. I get what you're saying.
No, but
because
Romano
if we reportedly turned down 2 offers for Darwin,
then I think there are 2 different clubs
who don't sell without having someone already
lined up
in line to replace that person, or who's someone we've already targeted, and we just bring the deal forward like the Diaz one.
I thought the KK, and I'll let Brian has something to say too. I was gonna say real quick, I thought the KK deal was simply an opportunistic deal, not necessarily like we had targeted him per se.
Yeah, but I would agree with that.
Okay, Brian, you want to add something about on the seer?
No, it's just what Romano said. Romano said basically that it's Al Nasser was
Al Nasser,
and it was
Ronaldo.
It wasn't just a bit. It was, we knew how much they were prepared to pay. We were happy with the price. Darwin knew what the contract offer was. He was happy with the contract offer, but we did what we did was we didn't pull the trigger because 2 reasons. The players that we would have wanted to come in and replace him weren't available. And then reason number two was some of those players may have been available, but you would have had to go way over.
Right.
Like he would have been 40. If you want him now, 65, bitch, put it on the table. And
Well, yeah,
it
that
was that kind of thing. It was
yeah,
that kind of, you can take him now, but you're
yeah,
going to have to way overpay.
yeah.
So it was like, yeah, the deal. Darwin was happy to go. Well, happy to talk to them. Probably huge. God
Well,
knows
I'm
how
sure
much
they
money.
were going to pay him out the wazoo. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. And they were prepared to pay us, not 40, not they were prepared to pay us a big fee.
Mm-hmm.
60, 65. Everybody was happy.
Mm-hmm.
But we were not going to let it go until we had our Marmouche, whoever it might have been,
Right.
or our, what, our main fucking guy.
Yeah.
And even if our main guy is buyable, well, you can have him for 100 million because we know you're stuck and desperate. Now, walk
Yeah.
away. Just
That and
walk
we know that you
away.
have money though.
Yeah, exactly. So you just walk away. But it was there to be done. So that's what Romano was saying. It's like, and I know he talks a lot of shit, but when he comes out afterwards and it's sort of like, look, this is what went down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all kind of checkable. And it made sense to me because Darwin was like, look, geez, 2 years out there, man, come back, rebuild your reputation. But
Oh
by
yeah.
those 2 years, you
Yeah.
banked 80 million quid, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, you set up your generations and all that, you've gone
No,
out and come
I'll
back and wow, I mean,
I'll tell you a
but yeah,
quick
it just shows that
story about that that'll maybe humanize him a little bit with some people. But like, it was a story we watched it. Me, JK, and I believe Malate was with us when we were watching it too. Um, Basically, Darwin has a brother apparently that was pretty good at football as well, and their family is so poor that his brother had to his give up his pursuit of football, and they basically put all of their eggs in the basket of Darwin, making it big. Now, obviously, he's made it to Portugal. He's obviously made it to England. He's making good money, and he's doing well with his career and his life. But he's very family oriented, and an opportunity like Saudi Arabia would certainly be a generational, style changer for him and his
I think we
family.
all know he needs a break. I think we all know he needs a break from the pressure and just go somewhere. Like I'd love to see him go to Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, and rip it up there. They'll give you 300 grand a week. You know what I mean? That's good. But I'd love to see him go somewhere that really kind of it just suits him, and he can get back in, that groove of. It is KJ. It's a very common theme, by the way. It's well said. Very very common theme. Um, to because I don't think he needs to go to Saudi. I think he
Mhm.
could go and show it in. He could go to Napoli. He could go to somewhere. He's still got that kind of talent. But if the break is what you need and that kind of money is available to you, then I can. I'm not gonna, whatever. But yeah, I'd love to see him go and. I'm not all about just proving the haters wrong. I know this guy is like probably the most divisive thing since I don't know, whatever. I don't know Donald Trump but I just
No, I
love
get
to
what
see
you're
him go
saying.
and rip it up somewhere else.
I get what you're
You
saying.
know,
No, I get.
I just
Look,
love to go and see
there's
him rip it up.
it's
Yeah,
happened before for players for us, and it's to a point where like a lot of times when it comes to this player, like even those
pressure.
of us that do openly, show support for him or show some type of appreciation for his game or contributions, it's to the point where like often there's so many people that are just hunkered in on their disdainment or frustrations or even just maybe just straight out just never liked them, that is to the point where it's like, okay, I just I want to be able to have a conversation without every time you bring up a player, it's like, oh, he's crap, he's this, he's that, he's this, it's like, all right, I mean, this guy is the game winner. Oh, he's still crap, who cares? Oh, but he played well and did this. Oh, okay, he's crap, he's still this, he's still that. There's no winning with it. So it is what it is with that.
Yeah, you ain't
By the
gonna win
way,
that shit, man.
Eric Ten Hag, 9 matches. Amram, 14 matches. So far, 4 wins, 8 losses for Amram. 3 wins, 4 losses in the same span, or somewhat same span. 11 points for Ten Hag, 14 whopping points for the man with the plan, Ruben Amorim.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh man,
How do we drop points against this team?
goodness, if
It
they
gets
could
me
just go
annoyed.
on a,
How do we drop
if they
points
could go
against
on a
this team?
3-game losing, like I don't know if anyone's got the table set up or not, or their schedule set up, but in front of them, but they could go on a 3-game losing streak, and then hopefully
Ooh, my eye.
Wolves or not Wolves, but like maybe like a Ipswich, nick a couple points here or there. All of a sudden, you see Manchester United getting closer and closer to that relegation zone. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's a nice
Hypothetically
being
speaking,
tough.
I know
Right.
that's wishful thinking, but I mean, hypothetically speaking, if they were to get either close, if not in that relegation zone.
No, they're 12 points clear of it, dude.
No, he's hypothetical.
I said hypothetical. Do you know what the
I
word
know,
hypothetical means? I'm trying to go
I know,
hypothetical.
12 points.
All right.
Okay. I can
mean,
live it. I can deal with it. I can go with it. Okay, so
yeah, let's just stream here a little
they've
bit.
lost 3 out
They're
of the
not.
last 5.
They're not 12. Well, technically they are 12 points. I got you.
No,
But
they're 12.
yeah, but I said just to get close to that relegation zone. I just said close to that relegation. So if you got 9 points, if they lost, they would have dropped 9 points, or the opportunity to pick up 9 points, and hypothetically, Wolves win the next. What is it? The next 3 games, that would put them at 28 points. That would actually put them right next to Wolves in 16th place. But anyway, what I mean by that is, would you think that Amorim is? Do you still trust the process with Amorim? Do you give him a shot at just saying trust the process? That's just an out of box question, because we're in we only got like a couple more minutes. Oh, we're already over 2 hours 30 minutes. Do you give Amorim another year, or do you just say, you know what, maybe this isn't the right choice? It might take too long for us to get all the right pieces in for this coach to actually do what he needs to do, as opposed to having a coach that can do what he needs to do to get by. And then, because obviously Manchester United are going to need to get some type of European entrance.
United ain't making Europe this year. Not
Yeah,
unless
they're
they
not
win
doing
the
it.
Europa.
Yeah.
That might do them a favour if they're not in Europe next season, to try and then make a bid for the Champions League under him in his first season.
Yeah, I agree, Lee. I agree. That might do them a favour. I'd rather it not, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, if you win the Europa League, you go straight into the Champions League.
You go straight to Champions League, right?
Yeah.
And right now they are Manchester United are the odds-on favorites to win Europa.
What?
Second, yeah.
It pissed me off when they won it under Mourinho, because they'd never won the trophy. They never ever won the UEFA Cup, try as they might in the old days, under it. But when it changed to the Europa League, they did manage to get it under Mourinho, and it pissed me off when they completed the full set. I think it would, you know what I mean?
How are they
I'd like
favourites?
Spurs
I don't
to win
understand
it,
that.
Lee.
Lee, have you learned nothing? Lee, have you learned nothing from the Premier League that once a trophy changes its name, it doesn't matter if you won before? Yeah. We've only ever won 1 Premier League, apparently. So once a trophy changes its name, doesn't matter. They've never won the UEFA Cup.
They haven't changed the trophy with the UEFA Cup and the Europa League. It's still the same trophy that, you seen Phil Neal and all that winning, you know what I mean?
That's one thing I learned as a Liverpool fan, that once they change the name of something, you've only won 1 of them. Okay, cool. You've only won 1 league. So
Yeah, their competition was the Cup Winners' Cup. They won it under Fergie, didn't they?
Yeah, 91.
In
Yeah.
fact, the rest of their European record shit. Apart from like they've got 3 Champions Leagues, but their other stuff's not that good. Ours was well better. We lost our only Cup Winners' Cup final in '66. It was our first ever European final in Glasgow against Borussia Dortmund, and their winner. It was a shot from the halfway line. It went over everyone, and Ron Yates was running back, and it hit the post and was bouncing back out and hit him and went in. And Ron Yates was following in to clear it, and it hit him and went in. It hit the post, a shot from the halfway line, or just over the halfway line, you know, a lofted one. And that's what we lost to that one time we got there.
I was going to ask you real quick, JK. Who do you think is second? Who do you think is if Manchester United are the odds-on favorite to win Europa currently with the bookies? I guess and that has something to say a little bit more so with people betting on them and also trying to get people to bet on them by Vegas. But who do you think is second?
Maybe Roma, maybe?
Nope.
Sociedad?
Nope.
Spurs.
Correct.
Oh, God.
Does that show?
Oh.
Does that say more about Europa, or does that say more about like,
I think that's probably down to squad depth. Surely.
I have no idea, but that when I saw that was surprising.
I'd like
Manchester
Spurs to win
United,
it though,
it's
you know.
Manchester United, then Spurs first, and then second. And that's why they're
I'd
thinking
like
that they
Spurs to
might
win
get an opportunity. One of the either United or Spurs might get an opportunity to at least save themselves getting into Europe via a win in Europa.
At this point, this is where I would like one of the Champions League teams to come into Europa, man, so they can buy United Spurs. And I understand why, because all the other teams, as good as they are, like player for player, I know both teams are dead. They're not up near enough up to the level. They just got good players. So I understand why they're first or second, unfortunately. But my hope is I don't want any of them to win it. To be honest,
Oh, absolutely.
that's my hope. I don't even want Spurs to win it.
How can you not want Spurs to win it?
Ah, man, Bonds first, KJ, man.
Yeah,
Let
but
me see it.
Spurs, out of all the big six, Spurs are the least threat to us. So shouldn't we? I'm not even saying be allied with them, but shouldn't we want them to do well more than everyone else who we actually have some form of something with?
Ah, Bonds
I
first,
don't
man.
know, man.
They can still have the empty trophy cabinet.
Yeah, I thought.
I mean, if I have to take them over Man United, of course. Yeah,
I
but
was
nah.
thinking they were the lovable losers for a little while too, but then we just saw I shared a broadcast where one of the Spurs content creators tried to cook Arrow from Redman TV, and I was like, where is this guy coming with all this chest of telling us what is the mentality
and
and
the
this
whole thing on Redman TV?
Yeah, tough.
Who was trying to cook Errol?
Do you know
What's the name again? 12?
Oh,
What's it? No, it's not. I forgot the name as well.
yeah.
What's that? It's on Dan Potts, isn't it? Let me check that now. I'm gonna go and then check the name.
It could never have been Deji.
No, you're close. Okay, I'm gonna check. I'll check the name.
Max might know. Max, are you still on the? If you're still in the chat, he might know.
The season
because he watches a lot of YouTube as well.
There's no chance either of them are going to win the Europa League this season. Both haven't.
I'd love for Spurs to win the Europa League and just rub salt in the wounds for the Arsenal fans. That would.
Here it is.
That would absolutely be beautiful. With United finishing just above the relegation zone, that would be the best season ever.
That was this is the person, by the way.
Like, there's no reason not to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's the name of the guy. It's not. It's
Oh,
not.
KJ.
Ah, yeah, I
Oh
know who
yeah.
that is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right,
Channel's
KJ.
what's his channel? Durag Diaries, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, and George is interesting too because he had a little whoops, he had a little bit of a back and forth with the Forest Troll, and
We need to get you up against Wolfie, you know, 12. I
Well,
swear we need
Yeah.
to get you up
Perfect.
against
Ready to cook, Wolfie. I'll DM Dan Potts today. Talk about game on, man.
get him.
I think you have a breather.
that guy, man. What is he talking about? This is what I mean
But-
about football fans. They're annoying.
The thing
No,
is,
but
yeah,
But he
took
had
the
a point.
moments.
He had a point. He was just trying to make the emphasis about the fact that Spurs make the most. They are one of the top generators in revenue, in the sense of they make a lot of money at their stadium. They own their stadium. You know, they have so many different revenue streams that come in other than just tickets. But on top of it, Spurs have the highest ticket prices in England, or one of the highest ticket prices in England. So they make a lot of money and they sell out their stadium still to this day, despite not winning anything. So they make a lot of money. And he was trying to get the emphasizing to say the point of they need to spend, if they're going to make all this money, they're going to charge you all this premium price to get into the gates. At least give them premium players on the pitch. Start to put together premium teams. And I would even go as far as to say I understand what he's saying and I agree they need to push it better, because they were trying to the troll that I was speaking on was trying to make it sound like basically Tell didn't necessarily choose them. It was more like Tell settled for Spurs. And
Yeah,
he was
that's a
trying to
fact.
emphasize the fact that look, Spurs spent the money, they paid the money, and they got it across the line. It is neither here nor there who quote unquote else was in the hunt at the end of the day. But he also was trying to emphasize that whatever it is with the money that they're spending, they have spent close to $1 billion in transfers in the last whatever, I think it's like, I want to say like 7 years or 7 years, 8 years, something like that.
Bro, if
It's-
you heard their fan base, you think they even spent a fiver. Their fan base is so horrible, it's unbelievable. I think they're probably the worst.
They definitely have been.
They're pretty
Tottenham
bad.
fans?
Tottenham fans,
Spurs?
bro. You
Tottenham
ain't hit their
fans are the
shows. I've
worst.
seen enough of their shows. They are so aggressive and this, that, and the other. I'm like, yo, like
That's between
one guy
themselves.
came on one of their shows. One guy came on one of their shows, and he's proper sort of positive. This, that, and the other. You know, and the amount of boost this guy got. He got everyone on the panel going at him. He had everyone in the chat having a go at him, and he was just sitting there, bro, because he was thinking, you know what, it is what it is. This, that, and the other. But their fans are mad, you know.
I've never had any antipathy towards Arsenal. I mean, I can stomach seeing them win trophies. I know I haven't seen them win many recently. You might laugh in that regard, but you know, it doesn't bother me. Spurs too.
We're
There's
talking
only
about
two
Spurs, he
teams
talks about
I
Arsenal.
can't stand seeing lift
Sure, man.
trophies, and that's Man United and Chelsea. Neither of them clubs can stand to see him winning anything. But if Arsenal was to win the Champions League this season, I congratulate them on that, like, and all that bollocks. You know what I mean? And I'd be glad in a way.
Oh no, Lee.
No, Lee. What are you saying there, bro? No. Them days are gone,
No,
bro.
Lee.
Them days
No,
are
no,
gone,
no,
bro.
no,
That
no.
happened in the
No,
old
no,
days.
no, no.
In the old days,
Look
you'd
at
be
the
happy if a British team won it. You'd be like, yo,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the
right.
Arsenal. I had a little bit of soft spot for Arsenal, but it's all changed now, mate.
Them
Mate,
days are gone, bro.
Lee, you've been getting these Arsenal fans go on every year about the invincible season. We've got a gold trophy. Let them be that club that hasn't won the Champions League. Let them sit there. That's fine. Let the big dogs bark. Ho, ho, ho! Big dogs.
Watch out. Watch out.
No, Lee. Don't be too. No, Lee. Let's not do that, Lee. No, you've been too nice. Don't worry about Lee. Leave them. Leave them with the Serial Champions League and leave Spurs with the Audi Cup from Sainsbury's or Tesco's just down the road. All right, just leave them too. Let them be. Let them be. We're
Got
good.
to share the silver around London. Chelsea have got some. Chelsea are the only ones who've got it in London, aren't they? Like, it would have been nice for Spurs to beat us if it wasn't us they were playing. I would have supported them.
The Midlands, West Midlands, East Midlands have got more trophies, Champions League, European Cup wise, than London.
Yeah,
Yeah, London's just Chelsea.
Forest too.
Yeah, 2 for Forest.
Forest have got more.
Bro,
That's wow.
Forest,
That's crazy.
That's embarrassing.
Crazy.
That's why that
Forest,
guy
yeah.
is giving it chest. That guy who's a Forest fan. If they didn't have no European Cups, he wouldn't be giving it large.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they do, so we can.
They did so well to be able to manage to win it 2 years on
The
run.
question is, they do, but do they have? Yeah, I get what you're saying, but do they have one in his lifetime?
No, but they
Well, they'll never have.
Like,
You know,
I
that's
laugh
the
at
point.
Arsenal
You know,
all the
he's
time
speaking
because
as
they've
if he's.
never won a European Cup.
Nottingham
I laugh
Forest
at
won the
Arsenal all
European
the time
Cup more
because they've won
times than they
European
won the league. They only ever won the league that once to get into it and then managed to win it 2 years in succession. I mean,
Right.
it was that we were going for it. We were going for 3 years in a row when they knocked us out in the second round in 88, 89. So we would have had 3 in a row probably there, like if they would have knocked us out. But it wasn't.
I
very
just
good
think it's
start,
brilliant
like.
that a Forest fan can point out to an Arsenal fan that they've got 2 more European Cups than they do. How about it, man?
Oh well,
How
to an
about
Arsenal fan, I could care
I
less.
laugh at Arsenal
Yeah.
all the time because they've
I
no
thought you meant to
European
a
history.
Spurs fan. I mean,
Oh no, Arsenal fans have no European history. That's like
Spurs
the
have won a European
biggest-
competition.
yeah, well, fair
It
as
was
cooking.
CSKA, so they did knock Forest out when Forest attempted to win it for a 3rd year in a row.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
No, anybody that can
But-
laugh at Arsenal over their European history, I'm on their side because it's pathetic. How any team like Arsenal don't have like just at least a couple of European trophies with their whole like Arsene
Couple is
Wenger finishing top 4 is the big all this kind of stuff. To not even have one is just that's the best thing about Arsenal. They have no European history, just none whatsoever.
Yeah. Even the greatest team in the in the Premier League era couldn't get the job done. But
All
Brian,
the Bergkamps, Vieira's, Henry's.
it's okay. But Brian, this is the thing. As much
Leno being sent off, I would have liked to have seen it 11 versus 11 to see the match-up Barca versus Arsenal, but
yeah,
sent
but
off. Leno just
I
doesn't-
supported it.
Fine. Lee, we hadn't been in the Champions
They're
League for
champ-
about 100 years. We got back in it. What did we do? We won the fucking thing.
won the Barca.
That's Liverpool. That's
Yeah.
what we do. We
2002,
had they were doing there. We qualify for the Champions League every single year under Arsene Wenger. That's the most important thing. 4th-place trophy. We were finishing 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever. We get in it once in like 9 years or whatever. What do? We won it.
Yeah, if that invincible
That's just
team
Liverpool. That's the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal.
in cup, shouldn't it?
We
Yeah,
understand
but
that.
What was their
Nothing
points
they
total
don't.
that year? About 87, was it? The invincible team. The points total was about 87, wasn't it? Something.
Arsenal.
Mm.
No, are you thinking about the 04 team, Premier League team?
Their invincible season when they were unbeaten. They had quite a lot of draws and the final.
Yeah, that's 04. Yeah, that's 2004. Yeah, 12 draws. 12 draws.
Yeah. The points total was only about 88, wasn't it? It was nowhere near
88. No, 88. I don't think they reached 9. I can't remember. It was near to late 80s.
Yeah. So it was nowhere near as good as our seasons under Klopp, was it? 97 and 98.
No, but the thing is, they can say they won it. That's the problem, innit? As much as you can say that, they can say they won it, and that's the thing. But what I want us to do, more importantly, just to rub it in, we can get it through the line this season, and I know next season people will come back to order. Imagine we do a back-to-back. Then we can even rub that in Arsenal, because as good as Arsenal's team was in the late 90s, 2000, they didn't win a back-to-back. They didn't do it back-to-back. All they have is that freaking gold invincible trophy they bang on. So imagine that, no European Cups, and in your prime team, you couldn't even do back-to-backs like the Liverpools, Chelseas, etc., etc. That's another thing we can have against them.
Yeah, didn't they win it
Yeah.
back to back ever? No.
I don't think
No.
so.
No, they
They never-
didn't. No.
Unfortunately, that Invincibles is something that they'll
Yeah, the
hold
whole
on
to,
that
to,
till
to the
they
dying
die.
grave. Yeah.
They cling to that like barnacles to a ship's hull, man. They will never let go of that invincible thing.
Oh, it's
It
not,
doesn't
it's
matter
not
what
an
you did.
impossible thing
Didn't go
to do.
invincibles. You didn't do what you did this. You didn't go invincible.
It's no the worst thing
Yeah.
about the sad thing about the Invincible thing is that it's an incredible accomplishment. I'm not taking that away, but it's not impossible to do considering the way that they did it and
We lost
considering
one game. We lost one game and we lost a league title.
yeah.
That's a league. That's a
Well, I was going to
league
go as
race.
far as to say that their Invincibles team, in considering with points and the likes, don't even break the top 10 in
No,
point tallies.
they don't come near. They don't come
And
near.
and tell you the truth, with every passing year, I think they're going to continue to go down and down and down and down in that
Yeah.
that
They had like
that metric.
10
Alexandra.
draws, something like that. They loaded draws, whatever it was. They loaded draws.
Yeah, 12 draws. Yeah, they only reached 90 points.
Yeah.
For that season, they only reached 90 points.
Yeah, we lost one game against Manchester City.
Oh my
And that
gosh!
cost us the title.
Speaking of
Yeah,
One
Arsenal,
match we lost. And we went.
they're that's sorry.
We did better points
Wow.
total than them in every other way.
Yep.
But just because we didn't get one draw against Stoke, whatever. We lost one game against Man City. If we had won that game, we would have won the league title and we would have gone invincible.
Yeah.
That's how close we came. So it's not like, oh, you never even got close to what we did. No, we came within one freaking goal of doing what you did.
We came within a pubic hair of doing
But
this.
that's the
Yeah.
thing about that's the whole thing about it. So a lot of times, those things get overlooked. I know people don't want to talk about the quad, but we came 2 games short of the quad. We came too short. But again, you know what? Doesn't matter. We didn't accomplish it, so we move on. I was just gonna say real quick though, it is kind of funny that
Yeah, like I was saying there, look,
that the
20
team
wins in
that
a
is
row.
supposedly going to chase us down and possibly even win out all of their games is now weighing the options of whether they want to if Arteta should start what's the boy from Real Sociedad, Marino, right? Is that Moreno? Who's the for
Marino.
Arsenal?
Yeah, Mikel Marino, yeah. That's
They're
right.
talking about possibly starting him as their striker.
Yeah, that'll work. Keep doing that. Cool.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. That'll
Exactly.
work. Nice one. Thanks. Great. Keep
Exactly.
doing that.
You
The
got
thing
you
is,
know,
I called it yesterday, man.
You got
That
2-0.
game made me so sick because,
yeah, I know.
like, the whole Arsenal fan base just admitted defeat. They was just like, we've dropped points again. And the whole game, I was like, I just sense Arsenal do we get a prime United and scumbag a win. So they're going to scumbag it, and it's going to be Mikel Marino in the 9, like prime McTominay at United.
Yeah.
It made me sick. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, nah.
Yeah, but KJ, it should make you feel when I hear you say that, what I would latch onto that is the fact that all these Arsenal fans are just standing there on the sidelines with the towel ready to throw it in because they've no strikers. They're just ready to throw the towel in. They're just ready. Oh no, I couldn't win it. No, we had no chance of catching Liverpool because injuries. No, they're just throwing the towel in. They're waiting for a bad result to throw the towel in. We're not. Do you get what I'm saying? They're waiting for an excuse. Oh, look, see, told you we couldn't challenge now.
Oh,
As soon
absolutely.
as Havertz went, oh no Saka. We didn't buy a striker, so we may as well give up now. That's their
Yeah.
mentality. They're waiting for a reason.
Are you kidding me? They pulled out Eagles pulled out charts to talk about the number of players that have been available for Arsenal versus the number of players that have been available for Liverpool. And I'm like, you had 2 years of fortunate health that you did not win the Premier League, but yet you're now going to talk and try to downplay your team simply because you've fallen on some hard times by possibly overplaying those players during those two strenuous runs, similar to, dare I say, us, who had some very strenuous runs with City, even more so strenuous than that person, I think, than City and Arsenal's runs against each other, because the margin of error was so much smaller, I think, for us. And yet,
Plus, Arsenal always threw away their domestics anyway.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
even
Other
if
than the
it
FA
was in
Cup,
the
the FA
Europa,
Cup,
they only
yeah.
went deep in the Europa, twice under Emery. Once in when they got to the quarters, was it when they went out to Atletico? And then when they got to Baku.
Mm. Yeah.
So apart from that, in all the other competitions, realistically, they've only really gone all guns blazing for the Premier League. It's not like they've been competing on multiple fronts, going deep into competitions like we have and Man City do.
But that narrative's never
KJ,
going to
I
be
said
the
from
upside.
day one, man, there's something at Arsenal. They're allergic to Europe. There's just something in their. Our mentality is built on doing what we do at home, bread and butter, but also conquering Europe. There's just something about that club that just seems to think it's above us, maybe, or what. I don't know what it is. There's just something in their mentality that just doesn't see it as a thing. I don't know. Arsenal, I think, have to be the most overhyped club of all time. They're like this guy. I don't. It's like something like an actor or something. Because like he's been around for like 40 years and he won a best Oscar in one movie, and people still talk about like he's just this. They're just this weak, fake little team. As far as if they weren't in London, they are in London, so that's irrelevant. But if they weren't in London, they're Middlesbrough or something. You know. I just don't get them. I just don't get them. Like all that money, all that spent. You know, Chelsea show up for 20 years with a few quid and they win European Cups.
Yeah.
Just, like Arsenal with all, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's like, yeah, you can be doing this and that, but football is moving on around you. I don't think there's any club in Europe that's as successful, in inverted commas, as they are. That has had as little impact in European competition as they've had.
Yeah.
Big up, Abdul. Big up. Big up.
I
Big
know.
up.
He had yeah, I'd go as far as it. I heard someone on their side of the fence go as far as to say that if Arteta and Slot swap teams, that Arteta would be able to do better than Slot.
No
Oh,
chance.
That's
taking it. You
Absolutely
see,
no
exactly the words
chance.
that he said.
you see, this is the problem. This is the Man City, the Pep curse. Someone comes out, whoever's assistant coach to Pep becomes a manager. They think they're going to do great things. It's Pep. That's fake Pep. Exactly. You got Pep. You got the cone man, aka fake Pep B, and you got the other bald fake Pep. Pep cone C minus C. I mean, come on, man. Just give it. It's getting boring now. It is. It is. It's getting boring.
The
It
thing
is
is,
getting
though,
boring.
the thing is,
No,
though,
Latte,
with the
I'll ask you
cold
a
man,
genuine
yeah.
question. Sorry, KJ, sorry.
No, that's all right. With the Coleman, yeah, like over the last 3 seasons, he's played 3 different styles of football. Like the first year when they went on their title challenge against Man City, they was actually playing like some Man City type football with tiny bits of like Jurgen Klopp football when it came to like the counter attack or transitions. Then last season, I'd say it was a bit more pragmatic, kinda, but there was efficient in a way of, I'd probably say the efficiency of like a 2019 Liverpool, where we literally just motoring on. And then this year, well, the first half of the season, he's been playing prime Jose ball. Like the attack wasn't as fluid as it was the last 2 seasons or anything like that. And if it wasn't for Saka, like they were saying, they weren't creating any opportunities. They weren't really scoring goals either. Everything was coming through Saka pretty much just up until he got injured.
Oh no, everything was. There was like close to 60. As much as we were getting 70 some odd percent of the offense coming through Liverpool, it was close to that number. It wasn't the same number, but it was very close to the amount of offense that was being generated or being, filtered through was through Saka. So, albeit taking out a player that important in your team is very difficult. Is very difficult to continue to push on and make something of a difference. And but you have to figure out how to do it. We despite us not having, we didn't have Salah in our team during one of those title runs. Albeit we ended up short, but that's also because during that title run, Salah was out at AFCON, and we still were leading the league. And then he got hurt in AFCON and was out for a significant amount of the return from AFCON for that run. And we fought somewhat, but obviously we came up short. All the same.
No.
But
No,
we are
you're right.
at the 3-hour mark. It's been a lot. We've kind of gone on a couple of tangents now since we got far from the reaction of the Wolves game, I guess. But we will be back for another, hopefully a scintillating episode that you will be in the chat a part of. Hopefully we can get this full panel. When we get the panel like this is like some of the best in the biz. So you get some very insightful conversation, and it's definitely some insightful angles of thought. And everyone on the panel, you guys want to give a shout as to what you'd like to say as maybe a last word before we allow for the people to enjoy the rest of their Sunday evening? We can start with
Just do what Talkman said. Go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening and take the 3 points and join us again tomorrow. As always.
Lee, you want to give a shout?
Yeah, I just hope this is a little blip in form that we'll soon forget about these last few games. Hopefully we'll be much better in the Villa game and the City game, because we'll need to be. We'll have to be. But yeah, onwards and upwards. So see you guys later. Yeah, cheers for being here, everyone. Thanks for your contributions.
Absolutely.
You missed it, Max. You missed it on Friday, man. We did a call on Friday.
Oh, Max. That's bad, Max.
Max wants the mic.
Yeah,
Max,
yeah.
hold on, Max. We might do something. Me and JK will discuss.
Yeah. JK, do you want to give a shout?
Yeah, I want to big up the whole panel. We've got everyone. We've got people from all around the world. That's a good thing about our channel. Also the fans. What? It's gonna get heated with other fans. They're gonna be trying to baiting us all the time. Don't get involved in their bullshit.
Yeah.
Keep it cool.
For lack of a better word. Yeah.
Use it as fuel.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got
Remember the ones in the chat or even on these panels that have your back, no matter what.
Drop them a message. I need backup on a channel.
You gotta keep in mind. Those are the reds you got to hold true to the heart, because, there's a lot of fair weather fans out there that will turn like a weather veil. So,
pick up Jimmy. Peace out, Jim.
But that's not what's a part of our little family here, and that's why I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. KJ, you want to give a shout?
Yeah, just Thanks again to you guys on the panel. Obviously, big up yourself, Tar, for having me on. It's always a pleasure. And big up the chat as always, man. As I say, we got a good community over here. We have an amazing community over here. And we got the 3 points at this stage of the season. Yeah, we could say things and nitpick about the performance, but the 3 points is what matters, in it, and we got that. So we can celebrate this weekend knowing that it was tough, but you know what? We got our 3 points over the line.
Spot on. Spot on. And last but not least, Nolante, you want to say a shout?
Why you do this to me, Tough? Why you doing me laugh? Why you
Shout
doing me laugh? You picking on me, man. You picking on me, man. But no. Shout out to the guys. Shout out to the random. Shout out to the chat. I mean, we'll save the more talk tomorrow, but we're 7 points, so it's slot top of the league. We aim to please, and as the saying goes, that the haters will keep falling. The R&B chick Maya is the woman I want to be calling. Yeah, we've got the Squiller up next to the Midlands, JK, KJ sides to the filler. And on that note, good night. And in the words of our illustrious ex-manager Jurgen Klopp, oh well, you know, Jota went down and sat up. Boom! Good night.
Good night on that. Definitely take care. God bless everyone out there. And as always, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. We will see you guys tomorrow. Definitely. And panel, definitely chill out if you guys want. We're going to definitely talk a little bit about next episode coming up and in the backstage. But other than that, everyone enjoy your nights. Take care.